The following broadcast of Houston Aeros hockey is a UPN 20 sports presentation.
It's been a very slow start for the Houston Aeros this season, with back-to-back losses against the Fort Wayne Comets and the Cleveland Lumberjacks. The Aeros are looking forward to a little home cooking. Tonight's dish could be a Viper souffle with either Scott O'Neill or Mark Fraser maitre d'. Live from the Summit, the Aeros kick off their home opener against Detroit. This is UPN's Saturday Night on Ice. The Summit in Houston, Texas. It's Saturday Night on Ice. Tonight, the Houston Aeros take on the undefeated Detroit Vipers in live International Hockey League action. A very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Summit. I'm Adam Gordon. I'm all dolled up in my tuxedo, darling, with Mike Greenlay, my broadcast partner. Hey, welcome to the broadcast booth for the first time.
Hey, it's good to be here. We're all, like you said, all jazzed up in our suits here, and we're ready to look for an exciting game.
The Aeros and the Vipers, you got your Turner Cup ring on. This is great. It hasn't been great, though, for the Aeros in the first two games. They've dropped 2 in a row, but coming off the Cleveland loss, Troy Gamble at least had a very strong game.
Well, it's very promising to see a goaltender come into his first game and play as well as he did, facing 57 shots. He's continuing his good play from the preseason.
And he's going to need it tonight. But defensively, they've made a change. They're going to put Gord Donnelly up to the right wing. What will that accomplish?
Well, Gord Donnelly is going to open up some room for the forwards to do some scoring. And then Gord Krupke's obviously going to move into his spot and do some hitting down low.
And they're going to need some defensive help because the Vipers have capitalized, if you will, on a couple of guys, Peter Bondra and Michael Pavanka.
Well, Bondra was a leading scorer as far as goals were concerned in the NHL's shortened season last year. And Pavanka was the guy who was setting the table for him all the time. So those two guys are going to have to be guys to watch.
It's time for the Oshman's Game Plan, brought to you by Oshman Super Sports USA. The Aeros have given up 15 goals in their last 2 games. I'm sure defense is the biggest key.
Defensive coverage is going to be huge. You're going to have to watch for the quality of chances they give up, but most importantly, the quantity. Secondly, you have discipline. They got away with a lot of bad penalties in the preseason, but they're not going to get away with it in the regular season, as you've seen. And third, offensive pressure. They're going to have to control the play down in the other team's zone. The more time you play down in the other team's zone, it means the less time they're going to have a chance to score on your net.
For the Aeros, it'll be Troy Gamble in goal. For the Detroit Vipers, it'll be Rick Knickel. Another guy to watch tonight, I'm sure, will be former Detroit Viper Al Conroy. The Aeros team captain, I'm sure, will have a big game. Up next, the head coach of the Aeros, Terry Ruskowski. We'll be right back. UPN 20's Saturday Night on Ice is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Healthcare Partners, by Chrysler Plymouth, by Dodge, by Jeep Eagle, and by Whataburger. We're back in the Summit as the festivities continue for opening night, and I've been able to corner the head coach of the Aeros, Terry Ruskowski. And Terry, I know at least a slow start with the hockey club going 0-2. You've made some changes. Gord Donnelly's going up. What will he accomplish by doing that?
Well, he's a big man. He's a very physical man. So what we want to do is get him in the corners and work the corners out and get the puck out and hopefully make some plays to help score some goals. We haven't been scoring them very regularly, and we wanted to get something going. I look at the tape against the 2 teams we played against, and we weren't really physical, and it's not the type of team that I like. I like a very physical team, and maybe he can add part of that tonight.
I don't know if you would agree with this, but I seem to think that one common thing we've seen in the 2 losses, at least the power play is playing pretty well.
They move the puck around very well, and we should have had a couple more goals, to tell you the truth, in the games that we played, but it was just unfortunate that we didn't. Either we missed the wide open net or the goalie made a great save, and that comes with the game, and we got to take it as it comes along. But we have been moving the puck around. That's been the encouraging part about it.
The one thing we've seen a lot of has been this obstruction call, a lot of it. And I think, like, of the 10 power plays that the team gave up last game, 8 of them were this obstruction call. What's your thought on that?
Well, it's going to take a while for everybody to catch on to it, but I think it's going to be good in the long run. But right now we're on the testing angle of it, and we just actually got the film today or yesterday, and we watched the film today, and we were supposed to have that before training camp. So we really started with behind the 8 ball, and we finally got the film, and we looked at it, and I think we have a better view of what we have to do now.
Well, best of luck opening night here at the Summit.
Thanks.
Head coach Terry Ruskowski here in the Summit. The Aeros and the Detroit Vipers. We'll have more right after this. The Summit in Houston, Texas, sold out, I'm sure, for the opening night. And the head coach of the Aeros, Terry Ruskowski, you think he's jacked Mike Greenlight?
I tell you what, as a player, I'm sure he could understand how excited these guys, but as a coach, you can see that he's ready for this one. He's got his tux on as well.
I think at this point, he's probably forgotten about the fact that his team is 0-2 and that they've been dominated in the first 2 games, and I'm sure he has put that across to his team. Guys, it's the home opener, packed house, fantastic opening night ceremonies. Let's jump all over the Vipers and get our first win of the season.
Well, I tell you what, I know that especially from the players' point of view, they're saying, hey guys, there's 82 games this year, and that's just 2 of them. So let's just use the momentum of the crowd. Let's show our fans how we can play, and I'm sure Terry's voiced that as well.
You talked about in the Oshman's game plan about discipline, and that is so important. We've established the fact that the first 5 minutes are very, very important for the Houston Aeros in the sense that they've got to get on the board, get their skating legs established. The thing that has killed them in the first 2 games has been this obstruction penalty and the fact they've played the first 5-6 minutes short-handed.
Well, it's funny. It seems like the first team to show some offensive threat in the game seems to get the calls right away because automatically they're going to get a couple power plays because of that obstruction penalty. So it's whoever gets down the other end first seems to get the momentum. But that penalty aside, I think the Aeros are going to have to be careful about their other penalties, and they can't just blame it on the obstruction penalty because they've gotten some other ones, and they're going to have to be careful on that, of course.
Take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Detroit Vipers on defense, it's Brad Shaw, also defensively. They will go with former Aero Oleg Shargorodsky. Up front, they're going to come right after you with Peter Bondra, Steve Junker, and Michael Pavanka. For the Aeros defensively, Jim Pack and Steve Jakes. Up front, the line of Mark Freer, Scott McCrory, and Scott Arneal. In goal, Troy Gamble. We talked about Troy Gamble and the fact that he has played so well in the preseason. Gamble, 101 wins in his career, but he faced 57 shots in the game against Cleveland.
You know what? As a goaltender, I don't think I've ever faced 57 shots in one game. I mean, that's a rarity, and hopefully it's not going to happen again.
So Troy Gamble will be the man, and hopefully for him, he will have a little help in front of him. He was a frustrated hockey player, and we saw that in Rob Dobson in the Fort Wayne game.
Well, certainly, whenever your goaltender's peppered, especially the first game of the season like that, you want to ease your goaltenders into the season.
Starting in goal tonight for the Detroit Vipers, Rick Knickel. He spells it with a K-N, and it should be nickel, but he goes Rick Knickel. And he is the man that has backstopped the Vipers for the last 2 years. And he has given up 5 goals against so far this season. He was not in goal last night for the Vipers as Daniel Berthiaume led the Vipers to a 5-1 win over the Orlando Solar Bears.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick Knickel, he's played for years, and he's shown why he can still play. I mean, this guy, he comes out every night and he plays well, and he plays with consistency, and that's what you're looking in a goaltender. It doesn't matter how old you are or what your style is. It's can you do the job, and he certainly does. So they'll have fun trying to put the puck by Rick Knickel tonight.
You know, for those of you that are watching on UPN 20, the one thing to watch is the Viper uniforms are much better this year than last year. They had the really bad numbers, which were hard to spot and pick up. Things will be a little bit easier, I'm sure, for us this year. But right now, everybody's standing. A packed house here at the Summit, a expected sellout as we pause for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's national anthem singer, Todd Reynolds.
All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land
forward to, as I'm sure you are, Mike, an outstanding home opener for the Houston Aeros. Again, a sellout crowd expected this evening for the Aeros and the Detroit Vipers. One thing to be aware of, as we hope, at times, Rob Dobson will be doing what you did in Fort Wayne, hopefully giving us some comments from the bench. And
well, I'm sure, I know that I had a little bit of advantage because I could step back into the doorway a little bit and kind of stay away from the players and just do it that way. He's gonna have a hot mic right there on the bench, and it's gonna be fun trying to talk while the players are coming to the bench.
Head coach Terry Ruskowski, his team off to the slow start, looking to rebound. They had a great year at home, and he looks to continue that this year, as he's already jotting notes down. We haven't even dropped the puck. He's got notes going. Now we've got the puck dropped and we're underway. Aeros moving right to left. Mark Freer fires the puck into the Detroit zone. And back to retrieve for the Vipers is Brad Shaw. Put the puck far side. Michael Pavanka trying to move it up. It's Peter Bondra that chipped it along the boards. It goes back into the Houston zone. Chasing it down is Jim Pack. Icing indicated, and play is whistled down.
Well, an excellent, I know there wasn't any shots on goal, but you saw how the Aeros got the puck in right away, got it in deep, and they started forechecking right away, and that's what Terry wants the team to do. He wants some hitting down low, and he wants to create some chances in front of their net.
Our referee was supposed to be Rob Martell, but what you're looking at is Scott Hansen. Evidently, Rob Martell could not make it here, so Scott Hansen is our referee tonight. Frank Prestigiovanni and Bob Williams are your linesmen. Face off in the circle to the left side of Rick Knickel. The Aeros were not able to beat Knickel in Detroit last year, but that great 4-2 win here where Gamble made 44 saves, they were able to dent him a little bit in this building as the puck lodged over the glass and out of play by Jim Pack. So we've played 30 or almost 30 seconds here in the first period. Scoreless hockey game.
And you look at that line out there right now. You got Slivchenko, Conroy, and Mike Yeo, and there's Jimmy Pack out there as well. He was an acquisition late in the preseason, I should say. Jimmy Pack, an NHL veteran, has 2 Stanley Cup rings under his belt.
Yeah, everyone's kind of jumping all over the defense with the struggles, but don't kid yourself. Let's give these guys some games. I mean, you've got Jim Pack with 2 Stanley Cup rings, Donnelly with a lot of NHL experience, and we've talked about Krupke and O'Connor since we're blue in the face. So they'll be there, no doubt. Puck is in the Aero zone. Vipers trying to hold it in. They can. It came back to center ice for Greg Andrujak. And Andrujak fired the puck over to the far side. It was controlled by Yuri Krivahisha. And he played last year with the Indianapolis Ice. Puck shot back down into the Detroit zone. Knickel slows. Back to play it as Krivahisha. Hishaw's pass center. Knocked down by Slivchenko, but it went deep enough into the Aero zone. And Gamble taking no chances as he's got Lonnie Loach smoking down there to cover up. Lonnie Loach, who played last year for the San Diego Gulls, and he will be, I'm sure, an offensive catalyst for this club as well.
Oh, he certainly will. I mean, he's not a very big man, but he certainly does the job as far as scoring. He's a 2-time All-Star. And speaking of All-Star games, it's going to be here this year.
I am looking forward to that. In my years of covering hockey, I've never been involved with any.
That's going to be fun.
Yes. There's Rick Dudley, the head coach. This guy, tell me he doesn't have a little bit of experience. There's not a smarter book coach in the NHL. He will not be outcoached by anybody. He's a terrific head coach. The book on him, though, very intense individual, as was seen in the playoffs last year.
And as you saw him as a player a long time ago.
Terrific hockey player. Puck came into the Aero zone. It was knocked away by the defense, and it's taken by Gord Donnelly, chipped to center ice. He's out there with Maurice and Bissett, so we'll get our first look at Gord Donnelly playing the right wing. Donnelly takes the puck away, handed over to Miles O'Connor, flipped it into the Detroit zone. Back behind the net, Bissett chased after it, but it was chipped back to the near side. Laniel, he's played well in the first 2 games. Puck was centered in front, knocked away, and it was cleared by the Vipers down the ice. Darrell Williams shoots it down, icing indicated. Laniel hustling back, and he will touch, and icing called. 18:21 to play in this first period, no score.
Well, a lot of people are asking, why is Gord Donnelly on the wing? And you heard Terry Ruskowski in the opening there saying he's going to do some hitting. He's going to work the corners. I mean, that's what the Aeros have to do is work those corners. I mean, they always say you got to win the little battles on the board, and you got to win the little battles on the board, and then it'll create things in front of the net. And Gord Donnelly's going to hopefully create some space for some scoring.
That's one of the changes Terry Ruskowski, the head coach of the Aeros, made, was getting Donnelly up there. He really wants to shake things up. Curtis Hunt is the odd man out. Kevin Grant should be back in about a week and a half. That's a big return for the Aeros when they get him back. Off the faceoff, Aeros have it. Krupke the drive and a high shot, high and wide of the net. And it jams over to the near side, and Bradshaw cleared to center. It's rolled ahead by Steve Junker. He's got a Turner Cup ring last year with the Denver Grizzlies. Far side, it's picked up by McCrory. Lodged to center. Freer charged after it, but Shaw rolled it back into the Aero zone. I'll tell you what, I love positive things. We're 2 minutes into this game and no obstruction calls yet. I'm loving life. Here come the Aeros, though. Jim packed to center. I think we played 2 minutes and had 2 obstruction calls in Cleveland. Puck into the Detroit zone. Knickel out of the net. Flipped it far side. Freer trying to jam it down for McCrory. This line has played well. McCrory especially. He's got a goal, believe it or not, in every game as a Houston Aero. Or I should say a point in every regular season contest as a Houston Aero. Puck goes back into the Aero zone, and Gamble will slow in behind his net for Jim Pack. Quick pass out to the right side, and Krupke bangs one out at center. McCrory, long lead pass for Arneal, streaking across the line with Conroy. Here comes Arneal with Conroy. Conroy charging to the net, but Arneal with a puck. Dipsy doodle along the boards, and he's tied up along the far side by Yuri Kivahisha. And then Arneal gives him a little bit of a shot. Crowd getting into it. Conroy centered the shot. Oh, great save by Knickle! Oh, man! I think Cipriano tried to go 5-0 on Knickle, and Rick Knickle would have none of that. A tremendous shot by Cipriano.
Well, Cipriano scored a goal almost identical to that into the preseason. Parked in front, cruising in, and the puck. Here's a big hit by Miles O'Connor, it was, on Lonnie Loach, and that just creates an opening. A good shot towards the front net is deflected wide, and then Cipriano sneaking in there. Knickle, I don't know how he squeezed him, but he did, and Cipriano was looking into the net.
I think the goal line came up for like a split second, which got the crowd up in an ire.
He's got a happy trigger finger down there. Let's hope he uses that finger plenty tonight.
Here's Conroy, pass in front for Cipriano. Jammed it back behind the net. Digging for it is Malgunas. He's in a wrestling match with Krivahisha. Puck picked up by the Vipers and cleared to center. Craighead jammed one for Andrusek across the line. Ooh, that looked offside, but play going on. Puck was centered. Stop. Rebound. Oh, Gamble, I think, shuffled the pads and was able to deflect it away. Now Conroy giving a look in front. He was kind of staring down at David Emma, but play going on. Puck shot at center. It's picked up by David Williams, defenseman for the Vipers, harassed by Conroy. I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a huge game. I can just feel it. He wants to show this team he should have never been traded last year. Jake centered. It was knocked away. Now Conroy still getting in it behind the play with David Williams. Puck is at center ice. Lonnie Loach fired it in for Detroit. Out of the net, Gamble slowed for the first man back. It's Miles O'Connor. O'Connor pass to the right side for Donnelly. Too far. It goes down the ice. No icing as Knickle will play it. Holds it back for the first one there. It's Williams. And he'll shoot this one down the ice. This will be an icing call as Krupke chases it down, and he will hold on. We've played 4 minutes in the first period, and there's no score here from the Summit. We'll be right back. Spend a murderous afternoon with UPN 20, Sunday at 1. Keanu Reeves looks for a little deadly fun along the river's edge. Then at 3, Corbin Burnson finds out that love can be murder. And finally at 5, Brian Brown is Devlin. The intrigue begins tomorrow at 1 on UPN 20. The intrigue has already started here, Greener, being 4 minutes gone. The Aeros look very good in the opening period.
Putting a lot of pressure on down deep. That's what Terry wants, and it's gonna prove positive soon enough. And good line to have out there right now is actually Arneal, McCrory, and Freer.
Scoreless hockey game. Face-off to the right side of Knickle, controlled by the Aeros. They did a very solid job on the face-offs in Cleveland, and it continues this evening. Now, lead pass for Bondra, intercepted by Jakes. Bondra picked it up, quick shot block. Bondra again, another shot block. In there, Junker trying to dig it out. Him and Freer collide on the boards. Junker wins that battle, picked up at the hash marks left side. Junker centered one. Here's Pavanka trying to get the shot away. He was centering a pass and went off the stick of Freer. Now another shot whipped wide. Bondra again. Nobody seems to have been able to contain him at all. Wow, you can see the NHL experience under that shift right there. Puck picked up by Freer. Mark Freer for Houston to Scott Arneal, and it's shipped down the ice. You can tell with Terry Wiskowski using the last line change. I think that's the line he wants out against Bondra.
And that's a good thing. The home ice advantage allows him to do that. You see Bondra and Pavanka, their success, not necessarily success, but the reason why they have success is because they do everything with speed. When you do something with speed, it gives the other team less time to react.
Puck is in the Detroit zone. David Emma traces back to get it. Arneal forechecking there. And the puck controlled by the Vipers in their own zone. Out at center. Here they come. Along the boards, Junker trying to roll one into the Aero zone. Was knocked away. And then Frank Giovanni was drilled, the linesman. That should be obstruction, I think. Here's
Give himself a penalty.
Joseph Kearney fires the puck in for Detroit to the Aero zone. Gamble out to slow, and here's Gord Krupke behind the net. Krupke, turn the puck over in front. Loach the shot. The Kearney by Krupke at the last moment. Puck was centered again, and it was knocked free, and Bishop got it down the ice.
Well, Krupke tried to dump it, just a little saucer pass, and he kind of fanned on it. Don't want to give Lonnie Loach and Tierney that kind of chance.
Puck shot into the Aero end. After it, a quick shot. Score! Sharp angle shot from Dave Smith, and the Vipers on the board, 1-0.
Well, like we said, you want to do things with speed. Smith, he's going to be always an opportunist. The dump in, it was a simple dump in, but it turned out to be a little bit, comes off that bottom yellow part on the boards, and it comes out pretty fast. I don't think Gamble realized it was going to come out that quick. Smith right in there and just dumped it between his legs. Really harmless looking play, really, and it dumped it in. And Smith with the goal and assist this year, that's an opportunistic kind of goal.
And the thing is, it almost looked like the replay didn't show it, but I think Gamble may have thought for a split second to play that puck, and the next thing he knows, it's coming in there at a pretty high rate of speed. He better get back, and then really didn't have a chance to set. The Aeros have a 2-on-1. Here comes Donnelly, shoots, and a blocker save is made by Knickle. Puck tipped back by Maurice. Jim Pack held it in, shoveled it down low, but Joe Smith cleared to the line, not out. It was turned by Maurice in front. Vipers trying to clear. It was taken by Michael Stewart. He got it out at center, and down the ice it goes. Again, icing indicated, but the Aeros have to hustle to get there, and Jim Pack will ride into town and touch the puck and get the icing call with 13:50 to go in the first. Vipers lead 1-0.
I know you mentioned how a lot of goalies, some goalies, you know, they like to play the puck and some don't. I know Dobson would have probably been out there. Gamble, of course, likes to stay at home a little more, let his defenseman do a little bit of work. They dumped that puck by the defenseman and beat him to the puck, basically. Smith all over that, and if that puck would have hit about a foot higher on the boards, it would have just stopped dead, you know. But it hit the yellow rim around the bottom of the boards and caromed out, and I don't think Gamble was ready for it to come out that quick.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Rick Knickle. Vipers lead at 1-0. David Smith's goal. And a face-off won by the Aeros. Fair back to Jim Pack. Quick little wrist shot. Change direction. Knickle stopped it. Puck in front. They bang away at it. Arneal trying to pick one out of a scrum, but the Vipers clear. It's out at center. And Michael Pavanka brought it in, but it was turned around by Jim Pack. His pass to Freer, intercepted by Shaw. The Aeros have had a couple of really dangerous turnovers here in the last couple of shifts. Pack and Pavanka go at it along the boards. Freer's got it along the far corner. Forecheck by Junker. It's chipped to the line and out at center. Back is Shaw, shoots it in. The Vipers offsides, delayed call, and the Aeros will play it as the Vipers have to regroup at center. Pass again, turned over, but it was again on the delayed offside. Vipers never clear the zone, and they'll bring the face-off to center with 13 minutes, 14 seconds to play in the first. 1-0 Detroit.
Well, the game is kind of moving along at a slow pace right now. Need guys like McCrory to get down there and get a couple shots on goal and get this crowd stirred up. There you see Arneal McCrory. And guys like Jakes, maybe Jakes can go and beat somebody up right now and get this crowd fired up so that the Aeros can go and tie this game up.
That's what I think this crowd needs, a good little pushing and shoving match there. Conroy with Yo and Slivchenko. Off the face-off, Vipers bring the puck in, and Druzak tipped it, but Laniel chased it down, trying to get by the check of Smith. Then Loach imprints him along the boards. Conroy trying to clear. He does. He's got a 2-on-1, but a rink-wide pass. I think he might have had it. I don't think he realized how much room he had on that right side, maybe to keep going with it. Puck shot back into the Aero zone. Here's Joseph Tierney now. Tierney trying to move one in there, but back is Laniel, and he'll turn with a puck in his own zone and skated up and out at center. Rink-wide pass for Conroy up over his stick. Conroy got it back at neutral ice. Turned left side, then tipped it back to his own blue line, and Vadim Slivchenko with some room to wheel. And that's the key. For those of you that watch Slivchenko, when you come to the summit, this kid can really handle the puck.
And that new rule is going to help players like him.
Slivchenko trying to shake off a check, and he's going to draw a penalty, and the Aeros are going to go on the power play. So Slivchenko trying to make his move, draws a penalty on the Vipers with 12.5 to play in the first. Vipers lead at 1-0, and when we return, it'll be the Aero power play. We'll be right back.
Trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show him, kid. Oh, boy.
The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
We're back. It's 1-0 Detroit, and Slivchenko twisting and turning along the boards. Tries to get to the front of net, but's hauled down by Joe Day, I believe. And the Aeros go on the power play, their first one of the evening.
Their power play has looked very good in the first 2 games. But they're going against one of the top penalty kills in the IHL. In fact, it was the Vipers that finished second in the IHL in penalty killing last year to the Aeros. This year, at this point in the season, they have allowed only 1 power play goal in 17 chances. Arneal across the line, but they're going to blow that dead on a 2-line pass and bring the faceoff back into the Aeros zone. 1:44 remaining in the Joe Day minor. 12-11 to play in the first. 1-0 Detroit.
You know, in the or in the, I guess, the pregame skate this morning, plus practice yesterday afternoon after they got back from the trip, the Aeros worked a lot on the on breaking out and doing the little things right. And you'll hopefully, they haven't really worked on the power play. They've had a little bit of opportunity to work on the power play in the games in the past couple games. So we'll see what they can do with it right here.
Face-off is in the Aeros zone, and again, Freer wins the draw. Puck controlled by the Aeros and scooped to center ice, and Arneal off to the races with McCrory across the line. Arneal getting set, dropped it back. McCrory chipped it for Arneal, base of left circle, lodged it back to the line. It's a bouncing puck that O'Connor couldn't contain. He had to go back to center. Put it off the boards for Scott McCrory. The power play down to 1.5 minutes. It's shot into Detroit territory, and the Vipers are back. Peter Bondra, he will turn and clear to the line, not out. Held in by Laniel. Gives to McCrory down low. He takes a bump from Dave Williams. They battle behind the net. Michael Stewart roughing up Mark Freer a little bit. And the puck turned over, and here comes Michael Pavanka for Detroit across the line with Bondra. Pavanka left side shoots. Campbell, the blocker save, and he will cover up, and then he will flip it ahead. Miles O'Connor to the right side for Scott McCrory. Tipped one for Conroy across the line to Arneal. Arneal getting set, hands it to Jakes, pinching on the play. Jakes behind the net, tried to center one, but Shargorodsky tipped it away. Oleg in the corner. Got it to the line, not out. Arneal. Arneal trying to get it in front. Here's Arneal, centered, hit skates. Aeros couldn't get one in there. Aeros have moved it close, but now it's a 3-on-1 the other way. Here's Shargorodsky, left side, the drive by Pavanka was blocked by Jim Pack, and Gamble will cover up and hold on.
I guess he'll cover up after that. A 3-on-1 on a short-handed play. We got to. The Aeros have to really watch that. I mean, you get 3 guys caught down low on your power play. You usually have guys to cover up, but I mean, you know, guys like Troy Gamble are saying, "Come on, guys, I want some shots on goal."
Saturday Night on Ice continues with the Houston Aeros. Next telecast on UPN 20 will be Saturday the 14th from Cincinnati, and then Wednesday the 18th against the Indianapolis Ice, and that will wrap up October. Catch all the games on television, UPN 20, and on radio, our affiliate, or I should say our flagship station, 950 KPRC. I know better than that. Puck control by the Aeros, still on the power play for another 20 seconds. It's Conroy across the right side, trying to get through the check of the Vipers, David Emma, but he turned the puck over, and now Shargorodsky's got a man to beat. Shargorodsky across the line. He's got 4 to beat. Lets a shot go. Gamble stopped it, and Maurice will turn it around. Vipers have had more chances shorthand than the Aeros have had on this power play. Maurice turns it around. Maurice across the line. Turns in with a backhander. Missed the net to the short side. Penalties over. Teams at 5 aside. And David Emma quickly cleared one to center ice for Joe Day. Tripped up by Jim Pack. Play goes on. Crowd thought it might have been a penalty. They say, no, hey, we're lucky there. Slivchenko, right side. Dropped it back. Maurice, quick shot. Oh, and he ripped it just wide of the net. Puck to the near side. Jim Pack. He's blasted into the boards by Joe Day. And the puck is cleared. Back in Aero territory. Turned around by Gord Krupke for Houston. Right side across the line. Krupke moving in. Krupke trying to move it down deep. Could not do it. It was cleared by the Vipers, and back down the ice it goes. Jakes has to hustle back and retrieve. Under 10 minutes to play in the first period. Vipers lead 1-0, and Jakes crashed and burned, lost the puck, but the Vipers couldn't do anything with it, and Tom Bissett turns it around for Houston. Bissett through the neutral zone, across the line, dropped it for Donnelly, pinching on the play to Yo. Right back, Donnelly shoots, had him short side on Knickel, but he missed the net. Knickel was about a split second getting there late, but didn't matter. Donnelly had hooked it wide of the net.
You know, that couple of shots right away, they're missing the net, missing the post. Houston's going to have to not give Knickel so much respect and start firing it at the net.
Puck shot into the Detroit zone. Knickel out of the net, cleared. Puck goes to the line. Laniel hustles over there, but can't hold the puck in. Sends it over to Miles O'Connor, back in his own line. Attacked by Bondra. Cuts right in on goal, and he popped it away. Oh, man. Bondra, I mean, you can just pick him out. You don't even have to have a number. You can just pick that guy out along with Michael Pavanka.
Skates with such ease.
Pavanka had it tipped away. turned around by McCrory, but he's belted by Dave Williams. And Michael Stewart is there to clear it out at center. Laniel hustles back to play it. Mark Laniel in his own zone with 8:47 to play in the first. 1-0. The Vipers lead it. And it's Scott Arneal at neutral ice, trying to get through the check of Bondra. He will tip it into Detroit Viper territory. Shaw goes back. Belted by McCrory in the corner. Freer trying to lug it out of there. It hit Bondra in the back. And now Bondra off to the races, 3-on-2. Here's another chance. It comes to Pavanka. Turns in front, center. Oh, he had Bondra on the short side, and he just tipped it wide of the net. This was nearly a 2-0 hockey game.
And he doesn't usually miss those. That was pretty much a wide open net for someone like him.
Puck is in the Detroit zone. Shagarodsky sliced one over to the left side, and it was to Junker. Give it back, Shagarodsky at center ice. Oleg pulls up, fired it into Aero territory. It's icing if Houston can get there. Jakes is there. He will touch, and icing is the call. 8:01 to play in this first period. Vipers lead at 1-0, and we'll have more right after this. He's back. Jason has returned. Next Friday is Friday the 13th. The Houston Aeros will take on the LA Ice Dogs. Two lucky fans will take on Jason in an obstacle course. First 10,000 fans entering the summit will receive a hockey mask, Jason style. It glows in the dark. That's next Friday the 13th. For individual game tickets, call 629-3700.
Maybe Gamble should get one of those masks to scare some of those opposing players away.
Yeah, let's turn the lights out and then just let him use one of those glow-in-the-dark masks. Puck controlled by the Vipers. Brought out at center. And David Emma at center. And he lost the puck. David Emma, former Hobie Baker Award winner. Craig Andrewsak hustles back into his own zone. Get it back to Emma left side. He's belted by Jakes along the fireboards. They kick and dig and scrum. The puck is finally taken by Detroit and hoisted down the ice. Icing waved off though. Houston's Jim Pack turns near side. He'll play it up the near boards for Kevin Malgunas across the line. Conroy centered. Here's the shot. Right on. Score! Mark Cipriano! This time he got him down low, and it's a 1-1 hockey game. His first career IHL goal.
Well, Cipriano finally is able to fire that one between the legs of Knickel. And that was just an excellent play by Conroy, coming down with Malgunas. Malgunas originally breaking down the wing, getting a pass right up the wing from Pack, and Malgunas just breaks down the line, cuts across, gives it to
Cipriano.
Cipriano. Well, actually he gave it to Conroy. Conroy dished it off to Cipriano. Look at that, giving it the big bump, getting the fans involved in this one. And an excellent goal by the Houston Aeros. A good breakout, a good rush, good forechecking, good play all around.
Game tied at 1, and the Aeros come back up. And it's picked up by Mike Maurice at center ice. Fired it into the Detroit zone. Knickel out of the cage to slow. Michael Stewart reversed it far side. And it's controlled by Darryl Williams. Back down into Houston territory it goes. Chased down by Miles O'Connor. 7 minutes to play in the first period. This hockey game is tied at 1. O'Connor, fires one up the middle. Maurice was there to play it, and they couldn't clear the zone though. Puck goes to the near side, picked up by O'Connor. He'll drift back and fire a rink-wide pass for Gord Krupke. The Vipers forechecking pretty well. The Aeros having a little trouble moving the puck up, but now they got a chance. Here comes Miles O'Connor across the line, slips it back. Here's the chance for Bissett. Cuts in, nice move, but couldn't get the shot away. And then he's hooked off the play, but play goes on. Good work along the front there. And Michael Stewart turns it around for Detroit. Stewart, a pass to center ice for Joe Day. It was jammed away by the Aero D and back down the ice. 6:25 to play, first period. Vipers, Aeros tied at 1. Opening night at the Summit. Steve Jakes for Houston chases down a loose puck in his own zone. Quick pass to Arneal. He'll send one up the right side for Freer. Hits the line with McCrory. It's Freer getting set. Centered. Jim Pack right in a goal. Oh, toe save made by Knickel. Unbelievable. I think Jim Pack needed about a split second more, and I think he would have given the Aeros the lead.
Or a split second before that if he'd have dished it across the front of the net. He'd have had an open net. Good play by Pack. He had trouble containing the pass on the back door. I'm not sure who that was.
Oh, that's Arneal.
That is Arneal. He likes that spot there. He seems to stand there a lot. Great pass across by Freer. Pack just loses the puck enough and is hooked, and I think that's where the penalty's going to come on that hooking there. Otherwise, he might have gotten the puck across to Arneal, who would have made sure of that one. but Pack originally breaking in, and that's exactly why Terry Ruskowski and Pete Dineen got players like Pack, because they like to break in and score goals.
Freer stays out with McCrory and Arneal. Aeros win the draw. It is Conroy getting set. Aeros on the power play. The drive by O'Connor, and it's save made by Knickel. And it's turned on the left side. In there, McCrory trying to push it free. It comes to Miles O'Connor. O'Connor, blue lines, gives to Conroy, but it's turned over, and Loach will skate it out for Detroit. Loach through the neutral zone, across the line. Loach trying to cut in, but he's watched by O'Connor, and then pumped into the boards, and the Aeros turn it around. Here they come on the power play. Minute and a half to go in the man advantage. Arneal across the line with McCrory. Arneal pulls up, lost an edge, crashed and burned, and the Vipers have a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Shargorodsky right in. Oh, stick save made by Gamble, and the puck is cleared by Houston. Conroy to center for Arneal, who he had Freer but couldn't get it. Now Freer had it poked away by Knickel. Shargorodsky is hit by Arneal, and it is right back out this center ice. Jim Pack fireboards for McCrory, and now Conroy brings it in with Freer. Conroy fired it into the Detroit zone. Knickel out of the net to the far side for Smith. Here to the line, not out, held in. Here's Slivchenko. Down low, Pack waiting on the power play. Pack with 43 on the man advantage. Pack waiting. Jimmy Pack still with the puck, circling at the hash marks. Now lets the shot fly. It was blocked. Never made it to Rick Knickel. Slivchenko pulls up at a right point, dished it down for Pack. It was tipped away by the Viper penalty killers, and they come to center. Shargorodsky killing off this penalty very effectively for Detroit. Across the line, sharp angle shot blocked by Conroy, and it's taken back by Jim Pack. 19 seconds to go in the Aero power play. 4:20 to play in the first period. 1-1 game. Pack in his own zone. A quick pass to Laniel. He'll hoist it into the Detroit zone. Far corner after it. It was Michael Stewart. He's bumped off the loose puck by Maurice. Bissett trying to get in there. It's cleared by Detroit Steve Junker as the penalty is now over. Teams in 5 aside, and Druzak the other way. Hits the line, gives in front to Bondra. Bouncing puck, and there was Gamble, who lost sight of it, and then Pavanka kind of came in there to make sure everything was all right, and it was. With 3:55 to go in the first period, this hockey game is tied at 1, and we'll have more IHL action right after this.
One hockey game, and Shargorodsky down on the wing on the 2-on-1. Do you think Gamble knows this guy? He played with him last year, stood up well, got the blocker on that one, and it stays 1-1.
The Aeros came back moments later, nearly got a lead. Arneal was kind of camped on the doorstep there.
He certainly was. He likes that spot on the back door, and players usually know where to find him. I think Pack knew where to find him, just couldn't get it to him as he was being hauled down, and that resulted in a power play, but nothing came of that.
Michael Pavanka, Steve Junker, Peter Bondra for the Vipers. Greg Andruszak defensively, alongside Yuri Krivohisha. Aeros win the draw to the line, not out. Elliot Krivohisha, shot blocked by Jakes. He'll reverse behind the net, and he's got Bondra on his case, trying to kick the puck free. Jakes staying tough. He was knocked down by Bondra. Play going on. They continue to battle for a puck. A chance in front was swept away by Arneal, and McCrory comes to center. McCrory fired it into the Detroit zone. Hustling back is Andruszak. Arneal's got him sized up. Arneal's really going to the body tonight. Puck into the corner. And it goes behind the net for Greg Andruszak. Trying to clear the puck ahead to Krivohisha. Yuri Krivohisha fired it into Houston territory. And back to play it is Jim Pack. Leaves it for the first man there, Miles O'Connor. Miles to the near side. Couldn't clear it. Held in by Pavanka. Cuts in. Gives to Bondra. The one-time shot. Score! What a goal by Peter Bondra. It didn't work the first time, but the second one was a real beauty, and it's 2-1 Detroit.
Well, that play broke down. Miles O'Connor tried to get the puck up the wing, but it was intercepted, and Scott Arneal was backing up, but a very smart play by a Detroit player who snuck in there and intercepted it. Then it was just a quick time pass down low. There you have Pavanka, just a quick little pass, and 5-hole again on Gamble. Not much chance on the one-timer as he's out to cut down the angle. But the play broke down along the boards, and that's where it all began. And we have a 2-1 game for Detroit.
Aeros come right back though. Young cuts into the shot. It is blocked by Brad Shaw. He tries to clear it. And to center come the Vipers. David Emma couldn't advance it anymore. Donnelly rolled it back into the Detroit zone. Knickel slows for the first one there. Oleg Chargorodski. 2:40 to go. First period. 2-1 hockey game. Puck tipped to the line. Not out. Held in by Donnelly. Goes down along the boards. Near side Shaw. He was hit by Yo, and the puck came to center. David Emma trying to sidestep a check. Maurice takes over. Maurice across the line. Maurice looking for the pass. Lets the shot go, and that just skidded wide of the net. Donnelly picked it up base of the right circle. Turned it down. And it's picked up by the Vipers. Clear to the line. Not out. Joseph Chierdy trying to get it ahead, and it came to neutral ice. Loach trying to tip the puck away, but chasing it down is Gord Krupke. Reversed it near side, and Donnelly turns around for the Houston Aeros. Pass right side for Malgunas, speeding into the zone. He's hooked on the play. No penalty as play goes right on. It goes down into the Houston zone for Steve Jakes. Under 2 minutes to play in the first, and a 2-1 Viper lead. Jim Pack cleared one to center. Malgunas tipped the puck ahead and went back into the Detroit zone, and Michael Stewart will gather it in. Stewart in behind his net for Williams. Oh, it's turned over. Conroy trying to center one. Cipriano trying to chase one down. Cipriano's got it for Houston. Right wing boards. Rolled it for Malgunas behind that. Couldn't handle the pass. Vipers clear to the line. Not out. Pack a big slap shot. Made by Knickel. Far side Conroy. Getting set. Sends it to Pack. He wants. Fakes the shot. And we get a whistle. And we get a penalty. And now, at least we won a period without seeing it, but we're going to see an obstruction penalty on Kevin Malgunas.
Or it might, you know, it might not even be that. I think it'll be interference, but the reason the penalty happened, I think Malgunas thought he got a stick in the mouth, and he was retaliating on the play, and he just dumped the Detroit player, and he got caught.
Minute and a half to play in this first period, and let's take a look at it for those of you watching on UPN 20.
Conroy trying to make a play on the back door, and you can't really see the play. It's not even, it's off the rebound, and Pack trying to wind up her shot, and the whistle's blown. Couldn't see it down in the corner, but Malgunas dumped the Detroit player, and he'll sit 2 minutes. This is a first power play for Detroit this period, and of course Detroit 38% on the power play so far this year. Now they've only played 3 games, so you can't let those numbers fool you too much, but it shows that so far this year they've been very successful.
So the Aeros will attempt to kill off their first penalty of the night. Vipers power play pretty good as well. Puck is in their own end. Michael Pavanka. He's out there with Bondra. Gee, that's a surprise. Puck at center. Turned in by Junker, but Freer knocked it away. Here comes Mark Freer. He's got a couple of guys to beat. Hits the line with Arneal. Oh, went left. Puck went right, and it's turned around by the Vipers. But then Arneal had it tipped away, and Freer picked his pocket. Shoots. Deflected away by Chargorodski. Down to the final minute. First period, 2-1 Vipers. They're on the power play for the next 126. Which would take us into the second period if they don't score. Krupke shoots one back down, and Steve Junker's got it in his own zone. Forecheck Maurice sends it deep into his own end. Chargorodski has to go back to get it. And now Brad Shaw. The right wing boards. Give it to Peter Bondra across the line. Bondra with Junker. Bondra cutting in. Lost an edge. Crashed and burned. And the Aeros, Al Conroy, will flip it down the ice.
And you're seeing some of the penalty killing that you saw in the preseason. The Aeros are standing them up at the blue line, just dumping the puck right down the ice.
This is the penalty kill we saw in the preseason. Didn't really see it so far in the regular season. Here's a chance in front. Bondra shooting. Gamble will stop that and hold on with 11 seconds to go in this first period. And the Vipers lead 2-1. 44 seconds remaining in the Malgunas interference minor.
And although that's a dangerous person with the puck, I'm sure Gamble would take those kind of shots all night. It's from a sharp angle. It was kind of down low. Not very much net to shoot at. He just come out and stand up. And even Bondra had nowhere to shoot except right into Gamble's stomach.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble, Michael Pavanka, and Peter Bondra.
How much ice time do you think they're going to log tonight?
Not much.
No.
I think they're done for the night.
Yeah. Shorten their shifts. We should send a note down there. Tell them to shorten their shifts.
Such a difference. The question is now when does David Poyle, the general manager of the Washington Capitals, get things settled there with those two? He had enough trouble trying to get Brendan Witt signed. Finally, after a season of sitting out. He got him Simon. Now he doesn't have his two top playmakers. The puck deflected just wide of the net at the final second, and it just drizzles wide of the net. And that is the first period. But a very inspired first period by the Houston Aeros. They were trailing 1-0 when Mark Cipriano tied it, but a goal by Peter Bondra has given the Vipers a 2-1 lead heading into the intermission, and that's something definitely positive to build on.
Well, it definitely is. There's a lot of positive signs in that period. Guys are starting to control some of the play down low, starting to look for players out in the open. I mean, the players that are in the open are the ones that are going to have to make themselves available.
2-1 Detroit, and we'll have more from the Summit right after this. Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. UPN Saturday Night on Ice. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenley, a 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Detroit Vipers. But again, we talked a little bit. I think Terry Ruskowski, Dave Tippett, the coaching staff for the Aeros, looking for some encouraging signs. They got some offense and some defense in that period.
Well, they did get some encouragement right off the bat because the Aeros came out very strong, but then a careless little play down low, and Dave Smith potted Detroit's first goal.
And then the second goal was made in there by make that Peter Bondra from Michael Pavanka. I don't think there's really anybody with a 1-2 punch like that right now.
Well, of course. I mean, these guys, if you get careless at all, you make a wrong play. These guys are opportunists. They're gonna score on your mistakes. So that's why you got to be extra careful when guys like that are on the ice.
I think one of the toughest decisions Dave Tippett had to make was deciding upon whether to play one more year or retire. Well, we know what his answer is. He's deciding to pursue the coaching venture, and our Barry Warner had a chance to talk with him.
After playing hockey for years, how does a player all of a sudden decide that he doesn't want to play anymore?
Well, it's not an easy decision, Barry. It's something that a lot of thought went into. You know, it's every winter for the past 31 years I've just done nothing other than play hockey. It's something that's hard to give up, but it came to a point in my career where I was looking to the future, and coaching interests me a great deal, so you have to take the step sooner or later, and I chose now to take the step.
But when you came down from Minnesota, you came to Houston to be an Aero hockey player, didn't you?
Well, yeah, you know, I spent the summer thinking about this, and I'd be a liar to say if I didn't think about retiring at the end of last year, but sometimes after the season ends, your body heals up and you get that urge again, and you know, it was something I wanted to give myself the summer to think about it. Came down, to get ready for the season ahead of us, and just the playing desire wasn't there. And I've always kind of taken pride in myself. Of I'm going to do something, I've got to do it 100%. And felt like if my mind and my body weren't into it, it was time to move on. And it was a decision that I made just before the start of the season this year.
All right, the fire in the belly was gone. But if this team gets into trouble and there are injuries, could we once again see you skating in sweater number 14?
Well, that's something that, you know, who knows the circumstances that may arise. You know, there's always times when if you really got in trouble, obviously everybody is employed on this team to do the best for the team. So if it got into a situation like that where it was the best thing for the team, you know, I'd consider it. But right now I consider myself an assistant coach, and I'll do that role to the best of my ability. How
are you interacting with Terry now on a day-to-day basis compared to when you were a player and an assistant coach?
Well, the one thing that I found is practices have been a little more, how do you say, I'm involved in them a lot more as a coach rather than as a player. When you're a player coach, you've got to do the drills, but you've got to concentrate on the skill that you're performing at the time. Whereas as a coach, you've got to concentrate on making sure everybody else does the skills at the right time. So it's a little different focus for me in the practice times. But Terry's been great to work with, and he's very informative about what he wants to do, and has a great plan. So it's been great so far, and hopefully it just gets better and better.
Dave, best of luck behind the dash in your new role as assistant coach.
Thanks very much, Bear.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Dave Tippett. It's 2-1, the Vipers leading the Houston Aeros, and we'll have more from the Summit right after this.
And now, coming out of the ice are your Houston Aeros.
Welcome back to the Summit. It's 2-1, the Vipers leading the Houston Aeros. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay. And you know, we talked about Troy Gamble at the top of the broadcast that he had to come up big, and although I think he did have a soft goal on the Smith goal, he did come back and play a strong first period.
Well, I think it was his indecisiveness on that first goal that cost him, but he did come back and played well, and you can't really fault him on the Pivonka goal.
You take a look at the scoring summary. The Vipers got on the board first. It was at 5:38. Smith from Lonnie Loach and Michael Pivonka, and the Vipers led 1-0, but the Aeros come right back on a nice play from Mark Cipriano. Malgunas and Conroy get the assist on Cipriano's first career IHL goal at 12:32. 1-1 hockey game. But the Aeros, they still have not been able to lead in a regulation game thus far this season, and the Vipers take a 2-1 lead. Peter Bondra, a nice one-time shot at 16:55. Pivonka and Krivahisha getting the assist. 2-1, Aeros very much in this game.
Well, I mean, the Aeros are showing some positive signs, and hopefully they can carry that through into the second period.
Kids are such an important part for the Houston Aeros. They really spend a lot of time featuring kids. And our Dan Patrick also had a chance to talk about kids. This is Positively Patrick.
Throughout the season, I'll be taking a moment or two for each Aeros hockey telecast here on 20 to talk about what's good in sports and what's good in our community. Tonight, let's talk about baseball. You know, it is World Series time. And for one Little League team from the Spring area, they've already had their World Series. And those youngsters have been praised and applauded all across our community over the last several weeks, and they deserved it. But how about all the other kids who didn't make the World Series? The 100,000 plus children in our community who go out there and practice every night and work every day in Little League, basketball, soccer, and hockey. And most importantly, their parents. You know, kids' sports has changed today than it was when I was a kid 30 years ago. First of all, there are more organized sports to play. And now they let the girls play. It's about time, and the girls play pretty darn well. But I want to salute the parents. All the parents who have an opportunity now to take kids' organized sports and make it family time. Because today there seems to be less of that than there was 30 years ago. Family time is at a premium. But organized kids' sports is an opportunity for the adults to leave all those adult headaches back at work and just spend time with their family having fun. Sports to that end is a great family value. And I want to salute all those moms out there who are team moms, carpooling moms, buying and selling candy door to door. They work the refreshment stands, the umpires and the coaches, and the dads who are just happy to water the field and chalk the lines and take care of the courts. I want to salute all the grandparents and the parents who rush home from work, gulp down dinner just to get to the game. And maybe your kids or grandkids didn't make the Little League World Series. Maybe they never hit a home run. Maybe they've never scored a goal. Maybe their team's never even won a game. It really doesn't matter. What matters is it's family time and that you're there and that you care. Thinking positive, I'm Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Dan. Positively Patrick, a regular feature on Saturday night on ice. 2-1 Vipers. We'll take a look at the highlights when we return.
It's an all-new skating special with a different spin. Now, the world's hottest Olympic skaters are moving to the music of Aerosmith, Peter Gabriel, J.D. Lang, the Rolling Stones, and more. See Christy Yamaguchi, Scott Hamilton, Katarina Witt, and other international favorites executing moves so hot they're banned from the Olympics. MTV's Bill Bellamy hosts when the coolest moves in skating and the hottest licks in rock collide. Greatest hits on ice.
Tuesday night at 8 on UPN 20.
If we get hungry, if I get hungry, I go straight to Whataburger.
Introducing Jumbo Mania.
Giant hamburger, juicy and hot.
Start with a double meat Whataburger.
Yum, yum.
Add large fries and a large drink, and you have Jumbo Mania.
I'm trying to watch my weight, so I'm only eating maybe 2 or 3.
You're a little bitty man.
Whatever it takes, I'm gonna find a Whataburger or I'm not gonna eat.
Jumbo Mania. Only at Whataburger.
Get off your sofa. Go to Whataburger and eat. What you waiting for?
Take cold. Take taste. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice. Brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
when Harper gets together with an old friend.
You gotta help this guy. I got nowhere else to turn.
It's a blast from the past he could live without.
What did you do?
No! Because this guy is the #1 target of the city's #1 psycho.
That's why I'm staying with him.
But help is on the way.
Well, how'd you like to get back to doing what you do best? I don't know. What are you, nuts?
On an all-new Point Man.
Sunday night at 8 on UPN 20.
Vipers lead at 2-1 here in the Summit. Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay, and the Aeros, as we said, only down by a goal, but some pretty exciting goals in that first period.
They certainly were. I mean, the teams came out pretty strong, and you got some good plays there. Lonnie Loach, pretty harmless play it seems like, but it caroms off pretty much. Dave Smith flying into there, and Gordon, or sorry, Gamble. I thought you were playing that. Gamble was not sure what to do on that one, and he got caught looking at that one. And then the next goal, you had a good play by Pack. You don't see it, but he sent it up to Malgunas, who tipped it off to Conroy. He just dished it off to Cipriano, and he finally finds the 5-hole on Knickel, who wasn't sure where that one was going. It ended up in the net, making it a tie game. But then a careless play along the boards, and you don't do that with these players. Pavanka down to Bondra. Goal.
Those two worked so well together. You look at the first period stats, and they belong a little bit to the Vipers. The shots are even, but the goals are what count. 2-1 Detroit, 8-7 the shots on goal, 6 saves apiece for Rick Knickel and Troy Gamble. Aeros 0 for 2 on the power play. The Detroit Vipers are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. And the Aeros power play, although not converting, still showing some positive signs, moving the puck around. And that's what Terry Wiskowski likes.
Well, they certainly did. They moved around the perimeter very well, and they got some very good shots. Knickel came up with the saves.
All right, 2-1. We'll have the second period when we return. Welcome back to the Summit 2-1 hockey game. The Vipers leading the Houston Aeros. Vipers also have 33 seconds left on a power play on a penalty of interference to Kevin Malgunas. So kill this penalty off, get back at even strength, and let's see if the Aeros can tie this thing up.
Well, the Aeros have been moving the puck up very well. I mean, that's been kind of a hitch in their step for the last 2 games. They've been getting caught in their own zone a lot. But some good work in practice, and they seem to have cleaned that area up. The only one mistake that you had cost them on the Pavanka goal, on the Bondra goal. But Terry Wiskowski's got to be pretty happy with what he's seen so far. They're only down by 1 goal, and I'm sure with some good momentum starting off in this second period, they could change that into a tie game and then eventually into a positive advantage.
Michael Pavanka, Peter Bondra, Steve Junker, Oleg Shargorodsky, and Brad Shaw start for the Vipers. Aeros bring out a shorthanded unit of Freer and Arneal. Steve Jakes, Jim Pack defensively. Drop of the puck. We are underway with the second period. Aeros win the draw, and they will jam it all the way down the ice. Aeros pretty good in the face-off department in that first period. Shargorodsky spins one out at center for Michael Pavanka. Hits the line trying to feed Junker. Didn't see the pass coming, and Freer will just turn and clear it down the ice. That'll remain 15 seconds then on the penalty time. And the Vipers back in their own zone. Pavanka tipped one far side for Bondra, speeding into the Aeros zone, trying to cut in on goal, but Jakes has got him locked up, and Jakes is given a rough ride by Bondra. Arneal can't clear. Shargorodsky held at a right point. Wraparound shot way wide of the net. Bondra to the puck, battling with Jakes. Turn to the far side, and Jim Pack is there. Bangs one over to Arneal. Can't clear the zone. Bondra flipped it down deep into Aero territory, and Jakes is there. Steve Jakes meanders up and out of his zone. A pass from Malgunas across the Viper blue line. Wrist shot and a stick save. Blocked away by Rick Knickel. Arneal feathers one down into the corner. In skates, fished out by Slivchenko. Vadim in behind the net. Wheeling still with the puck. Slivchenko pulled up at the hash marks. Getting set. Lodged it down. Freer trying to feather it back to Slivchenko. Arneal trying to lodge it out of there. He's in a pretty good battle with Williams. It came out in front, but Bondra was there to turn it around. Peter Bondra skates to center, and he rips it right into the Aero zone, and a stick save made by Gamble. Laniel give it over to Slivchenko across the line, trying to slip it back to Yo. Instead lets the sharp angle shot go, miss the net. Slivchenko again, wrist shot, let it fly. It was stopped by Knickel. Really sharp angle shot there again. Slivchenko waiting in the corner. Slivy gives it to Yo, base of the right circle. Yo cuts in, he's got the pass in front, but couldn't get it to Laniel, who was pinching. Now Slivchenko cutting behind the net, plays peekaboo with the defense in front. It was stripped away. Slivchenko got it back. Slivy right side to Conroy, the shot on a great stick save made by Knickel. Conroy nearly surprised him with that quick little snapshot, and the puck is cleared. And the Aeros had too many men on the ice. That puck hit Cipriano as he came back out there, but play goes on.
And you notice that quick little shot by Conroy. He practices that, and it works. You catch the goalie by surprise quite often.
Cipriano and Conroy the other way. Conroy, a big drive, and a blocker save made by Knickel. And the puck is cleared at center. Jim Pack turn it over to Krupke. Right side, quick rink-wide pass for Tom Bissett. Too far, couldn't play it off of Karam. It goes back into the Aero zone. Jim Pack rejects. Gives to Cipriano. Over to Bissett. Across the line. Snap for Maurice. Poke check by Andrujak. Arrows go back. Here is Maurice behind the net for Houston. Centered! Oh, and Cipriano nearly got his second goal of the night as Knickel nearly standing on his knuckles to make a save there, and that puck goes up and out of play.
Conroy, there's Cipriano with a quick shot, but another guy with a quick shot is, like we mentioned, Al Conroy. And here you have it working out in front, and look how quickly he releases it. He didn't even get it on his stick, and he released it, and Knickel had to be sharp on that one. And then again, Cipriano down low, shooting a real quick one, and Knickel again standing, like you said, on his knuckles. Play on words there. Terry Ruskowski must have said something right in between the periods, because so far this period there's been all the pressure down into the Detroit zone.
I guess you'd call that a Knickel for your thoughts. Oh no, sorry, I'm reaching for that one. Face off to the left of Detroit Viper netminder Rick Knickel. That was bad. I ought to be slapped for that one. Puck is in the far corner. Arrows have got it. It's chipped back to the line. Bissett trying to jam one down and hit the referee, Scott Hansen. And it's cleared at center. Vipers shoot it into the Houston zone. After it, it's picked up by Williams. Darryl Williams down into the corner. Trying to get one over to Joe Day. Wrapped up by Miles O'Connor. In skates, they battle. Fished out by Darryl Williams. Base of the circle. Centered and kicked away by Maurice. He'll chip it off the boards. Not out. Now we got Krupke. He's going to go. He's going to go with Williams. He's going to let a left go. Now Krupke trying to blast it with a right, but Williams came back with some lefts. Nothing really in the stiff right or left hand department.
Krupke came right out with his lefts, and the guy he's fighting, Darryl Williams, is no stranger to fighting. Brad tallied up 268 penalty minutes last year. And Krupke, of course, is not one to back down from anyone. And this crowd's starting to get into it now. I think they were waiting for their first fight of the season, and that certainly offered it. Krupke's got that sore shoulder. I mean, I don't know if that's part of his therapy or not, but I can't. You can see him. He's holding his arm, and you know what? He wasn't punching with his sore shoulder, I don't believe. But even when you're hanging onto a player, I mean, the twisting and the turning involved in there, and you can tell he's grimacing there. He's got some pain showing on his face, and you know, it's the last thing you want a guy like that to do right away when he comes back from an injury.
I think we're going to see what happens. For those of you watching on UPN 20, look in your lower right corner.
Darryl Williams just fires his puck out front, and then I think Krupke came up a little high with the elbow, gave him the old flying chicken wing, and he took offense to that, and the way they went, the middies came off and they went at it. But hopefully Krupke's okay. Otherwise, you'll see Donnelly back on defense again.
You might. I hope for Krupke's sake we don't. Steve Jakes off the draw, plays it. We're at 5-on-5, just 5-minute majors to Williams and to Krupke. Puck goes into the Aero zone. Gamble slows for Jakes. In behind the cage, he'll set the rush up. Jakes wings one over to Jim Pack. Off the boards, out at center, swept back in by Andrujak, that's not Andrujak, that's David Williams that fired that in there. We should mention the Aeros really only going with 5 defensemen when you consider that Donnelly is the forward as Freer chases one down, brings it in alone, shoots! Oh man, an outstretched toe save by Rick Knickel. Freer did everything right except get it in the net. He made the great move as he went after that loose puck like a bum looking for a stogie, and he fired one in there, but Knickel makes the save. Let's take time out. 2-1 Vipers. We'll be right back.
2-1 Detroit here at the Summit. Mark Freer almost makes it 2-2 as he's being hooked. A beautiful spinorama play. That would have worked on a lot of goalies, but a 5-time All-Star like Knickel laid his pads down nicely.
Face off to the right of Rick Knickel. They were ready to drop the puck, and Lonnie Loach was talking to Rick Knickel. They had Conroy lined up with David Emma. They were ready to drop the puck, and Loach had his back turned to the play as the Aeros let a shot go. It goes wide of the net. That could have been interesting if the Aeros scored on that. Call that one back. Puck goes into the corner. Malgunas trying to jam one in there. Conroy nearly got to it. It's picked up by Loach and jammed ahead. Here come the Vipers. Emma shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble wandering to the far side and reversed it behind his cage. Cipriano belted along the near boards by Loach. Here's Gierney. Gierney the shot. Stopped. Another drive. Gamble stopped that one. And Cipriano will skate the center. Here comes Cipriano. Drills it into the Detroit zone. Off the board. Shaw cleared, not out. Laniel shoots. Oh, what a save by Knickel as Cipriano nearly tied this game at 2. He's had a tremendous game here through a period and a half. Puck picked up by the Aeros. Connolly through the neutral zone. Shoots, and it was blocked away by Knickel. Joseph Tierney works one up to Smith. That came back into the Aeros zone. And the Aeros take over. Jakes, quick pass, Yo. Nice move around Shaw. Yo cuts in with Maurice. He tried to let a shot go. It was blocked by Shargorodsky, and then he's pounded by Oleg. Puck picked up by Maurice. Feathers one to the far corner. Donnelly chased it down, and it will slice up over the glass and out of play. Mark Cipriano is having a whale of a hockey game.
He certainly is, and what a story. Last year he didn't even play most of the season because of an injury, and this year he has one goal and almost another one right in close. A beautiful play right out front, and Cipriano is just parked, deflects it up high, but an unbelievable stack pad save by Knickel. And that's being opportunistic right there for Cipriano, who's not necessarily touted as a goal scorer. He's a rough, tough forward, but hey, he said if he can pitch in with a goal here and there, he'd be glad to.
Well, right now, they wouldn't mind him pitching in for a second of the night. Face off to the left of Knickel. Maurice to take the draw, and he wins it away from Dave Smith, but it's jumped on by John Craighead and scooped to center ice. Back is Laniel in his own zone. Gives it up to Mike Maurice. Mo turns it center. Maurice through the neutral zone. Hits the line. Maurice shakes off one check. Now moving down the right side. Maurice centered one. It was a bit of a high backhanded centering pass. And the Vipers skate the center. 2-on-1. Here they come. Andruzak to Day. Good defensive play by O'Connor to break that up. Puck came to Craig at center. Oh, Gamble had it knocked away. Joe Day's got it. Day, base of the left circle. Moving in behind the net. Day and O'Connor going at it, and that's the difference between Day and Knight as he's knocked down by Miles O'Connor. But good work by Joe Day as he really made that play happen.
Boy, Joe Day, he's a tough, strong forward, and you know, he grew up in Chicago, so he knows what tough's all about. But Miles O'Connor, just a little bit tougher on that one.
Mark Freer turns it around. Mo brings the puck in. Scooped out to center ice. Jim Pack right side. Trying to chip one in there. And it goes to the left side. Arneal right in on goal. Oh, great glove save by Rick Knickel. And he will hold on. 2-1. The Vipers lead it.
And an excellent glove save there by Knickel, who's made 3 excellent saves in this period. Here's Arneal. Good snapshot right there. And Knickel, he almost knew where he was shooting it.
It's 2-1 Vipers, and let's quickly go down to Rob Dobson. Dauber? You hear me down there, Dauber? Uh-oh. What do you see down there, Dauber? I guess we're having problems with Rob Dobson.
We have some technical difficulties. Dauber, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you, Adam.
How about this period? The Aeros have come out and are playing a whale in the second period.
We made a couple adjustments in there at the break. You know, one good positive thing about it is we kept the shots down in the first period. And, you know, you can see it from this period on. We've kind of got up in our offense and got back into the style of hockey that we have to play. You know, if not for Knickel, this could be about a 4-2 hockey game. So we have to keep the pressure on them, get a few by them, and then continue on from there. But I think you can see we're taking the body a bit more and really starting to work their defense down low.
Thank you, Dauber. We'll go back to him later in this hockey game. But here's Freer stuffing one right out in front. McCrory trying to bang one in there. And Rob Dobson made the point about Rick Knickel playing well. This could easily be a 4 or a 5-2 game at this point.
Easily. They had 3 for sure excellent chances. The Mark Freer play was a half breakaway, I guess you kind of call it. Cipriano. And then right now, that very good work down low. And Freer dishing it out to McCrory, who's diving in there. I think we're going to get a power play on this one. Freer, he's just throws it out into the pile because he sees Arneal there, but McCrory's in front. But he's hauled down in front by Detroit player Michael Stewart. Michael Stewart, of course, played in Binghamton last year, then was traded to Hartford, and then he finds himself in Detroit this year. He's played in Michigan. He wouldn't mind being in Detroit. He's a Michigan State Spartan, so he's close to his college home at least.
Sure. Face-off controlled by the Vipers. Aeros on the power play. And the puck is cleared by Shargorodsky. He's done a terrific job killing off penalties, and he's going to do an even better job because now the Aeros are going to pick up, I think, an obstruction penalty to Al Conroy.
Well, today we received a tape in the locker room. It's actually from the NHL, and every team will receive it. It's a tape that shows what an obstruction penalty is and what isn't, and so the guys know what they're doing right and wrong, and the referees obviously are going to have to get used to making this call as well. But Conroy shaking his head on that one, saying, well, I don't know if he should call that, but I think he did get his stick hooked around Detroit Vipers' waist and hauled him down. And that's what the penalty is. It's called obstruction. There's different ones. There's obstruction interference. There's obstruction hooking. I mean, but it's a call, and they're going to start calling it even more.
Off the face-off, we'll go 4-on-4, and then the Vipers will get about a 9-second power play. Slivchenko across the line. He's got some real estate. Centered! And it was just wide as the puck was almost centered to Tom Bissett. Puck in the corner, fished out by Bissett. Base of the left circle. Bissett waiting. Centered right in. O'Connor had it tipped away by David Emmett the last second. O'Connor, right wing boards, looking in front. Here's O'Connor. He's got his back turned as he grinds it out in the corner with Emma. Bissett in to have a look as well. It's kicked along, and they grind and kick and scrum and try to get it out of there. Emma working in there. Slivchenko popped it free. Vipers batting it around as well. And finally, the Vipers come up with it, and they'll romp to center. Through the neutral zone they come. Emma across the line. He's got Loach in front, centered. Loach couldn't get his stick down. Along the left wing boards, Greg Andruzak centered the puck. It's tipped away, and the Aeros have a 3-on-2 if they hustle. Down center ice they come. O'Connor to Bissett. Cuts in. The shot and a stick save made by Knickel, and the puck goes out of play with 12:03 to go in the second period. A 2-1 hockey game. Vipers lead it.
Well, I tell you what, Dauber said that they made some adjustments. I mean, they came out very hard in the first period, but weren't really effective. And Knickels had to have been sharp in this second period, because those adjustments have had the Aeros down in the offensive zone the whole period. We talked about that as one of the keys of the game. The more time you spend with puck possession, with the puck down low, working the defenseman, the more chance that you're going to have to score. Plus, you're going to cut the other team's offensive chances. And there you see Mike Yeo on the ice looking for his first of the season, and also Jimmy Pack on the point, who's not afraid to shoot the puck.
He showed that getting a short-handed goal in Cleveland. He looked at me after the game. He said, Adam, I'm not here to score goals like that. How am I supposed to do that? He said, I'll keep doing it, though. He loved it. Not known as the big goal scorer. He said, hey, I'll just keep doing it. Peter Bondra drilled like an oil well by Mike Maurice. Pounded pretty good there. Bondra picked it up and moves it in across the line with Pavanka. Switched it up. Pavanka right side. Here's a centering pass, tipped away. Pack trying to chase it down, but tipped away by Bondra. Bondra to the line for Kriva-Hishaw. To Pavanka, trying to center the puck. Jake's tipped it free. Kriva-Hishaw, far side. Bondra, the one-time shot, a rocket high and wide of the cage. It's scooped to center. Yo tried to fire one ahead, broken up by Kriva-Hishaw. Bondra turned it up to Pavanka across the line. Michael Pavanka pulling up. Nice centering pass. It was tipped away, but we're going to get another penalty. It's going to be, I think, a holding obstruction by holding penalty to the Aeros, and they will be down 2 men in about 8 seconds.
Just put obstruction in front of every call lately, and that's the way it's going to be for the next little while, of course. But you know, you just watch how Pavanka and Bondra work the puck around in the zone. I mean, they're so patient. The plays they make aren't necessarily not necessarily really fast or anything like that, but they're smart plays. And there you see obstruction, interference along the boards after the puck is reversed behind a goal. And hooking is when a player, you know, gets in front of him, uses an outward appendage like his stick or his arm to impede the progress of a forechecking player. And you know, it's a rule that's going to, like I said, it's a rule that's going to help guys like Slivchenko who like to burst into the zone and cause trouble. And Terry Ruskowski, I'm sure, is not very happy with that rule right now, but everybody's got to face the same thing.
Face-off left side of Gamble, picked up by O'Connor. Aeros short-handed 4-on-3, and then they'll be down 5-on-3 for about 9 seconds, and that's what they are now. Back out on the ice is Stewart. Loach across the line with Emma. Loach pulls up at the hash marks, getting set. Loach has Day cutting to the net. He'll set up the power play. Now the first penalty is over. It's 5-on-4 as the drive. Blocked in front. Loose puck gathered in by Loach. He'll move it along the left side. Rink wide pass. Shaw tipped it back to the line. Shargorodsky Oleg Shagarovsky hands it back to Loge, drifting down low. It's picked up by the Vipers. The shot and a blocker save made by Gamble. It's cleared to the line, and here's a chance for Conroy. Conroy in on goal. Conroy! He shoots, and a save made by Knickel, but a penalty coming up to the Detroit Vipers. Conroy, I think, maybe wants a penalty shot, but he's not going to get it. I think the man that got him just got there in enough time not to warrant the penalty shot, but to definitely warrant a penalty.
Well, there you see Shaw, a player assistant coach. He's going to have to give himself heck for that one. But in order to award a penalty shot, he has to have plenty of stride. Now he has about 2 or 3 strides on him here, but Shaw cuts him off, so it's not really a.
Ooh, he may have a point there.
Actually, he did dive.
Might have a point.
He did dive at him, so it was a deliberate effort to kind of chop him down. He might have a point, that's true, but at least it nullifies the power play for Detroit, and he's very adamant about saying that. And you know, as we saw in the preseason, I wish referees were more apt to give those kind of penalties in the regular season sometimes.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it at the end of the Peoria game.
Yeah, right in the
Graham
preseason.
Townsend had a chance to win it and couldn't get the puck by goaltender Paul Taylor. We went to the shootout, and then of course the Rivermen won that hockey game. But the Aeros now are going to get a power play, but we'll go 4-on-4 for minute 17, and that means Maurice and Donnelly with Laniel and Pack. Aeros win the draw. Laniel at a right point hands it down to Maurice. He's belted along the board. This has been a pretty physical contest in the standpoint of good, clean check. This has been a good, well-played hockey game. It's not been chippy, it's not been dirty, just good, clean body checks.
And those are the kind of games that Terry Ruskowski thinks he can win.
Donnelly, a lead pass for Maurice. Pulls up with the right wing. Maurice lost an edge, crashed and burned, and back at center of the Aeros. Jim Pack, his pass was knocked away. And the Aeros will play it. The reason the Vipers didn't chase that one down, it would have been played with a high stick, so they just let the Aeros touch it, and then they'll shoot it into the Vipers' zone, and then Joe Day just drilling Laniel. And while they sort out this mess, we take timeout. We're halfway through this hockey game. Vipers lead at 2-1. This is Saturday night on ice. 2-1 here in the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenley. Let's send it down to Rob Dobson. Dauber, it's been a physical contest. This is the kind of game I think Terry Ruskowski likes to see from his squad.
Yeah, it's important for us, you know, with the type of players that we have, that we play physical. And I think tonight we're playing physical smart. The last few games we've got ourselves into some penalty trouble, but tonight we're taking the body at smart times. We're not taking too many foolish penalties. And when you play physical against teams with this much talent, it's going to frustrate them and cause a lot of scoring opportunities for us, which it already has.
Boys are pretty up on the bench right now?
Yeah, everything's pretty good down here. You know, we've had a lot of great chances to score. Unfortunately, Knickel's made some big saves, but you know, if you bang on a wall or a window long enough, it'll break, and we're just going to keep pounding away and hopefully get a goal.
Thanks, Dauber. We'll talk to you later. Puck's in the Aeros zone. Vipers trying to move it along with 9.5 to go in the second period. Vipers with a 1-goal lead. Aeros will be on the power play in 15 seconds. It is Slivchenko with some room to wheel. He tries to get by Bondra. Bondra gave him a pretty good hook. He stays with it and fired it into the Viper zone. Aeros now on the power play. As coming out on the ice is Steve Jakes. 5-on-4 power play for 40 seconds. Puck shot back into Houston territory. 9:15 to go in the second period. Houston trailing this hockey game 2-1. Jim Pack through the neutral zone, a pass to Laniel. Trying to get through David Emma. Arneal slips one back to McCrory. Looking for Freer. Freer, base of the left circle. Belted by Andruzak. It's picked up. McCrory at the hash marks. Hauled down. Play going on. Andruzak snapped one. It's 2-on-1 shorthanded. Emma across the line with Loach. Shoots. Gamble. Great save. Rebound. Knocked away by Mark Laniel. Oh, Troy Gamble. A scintillating glove save. And it's Laniel the other way. Lead pass missing McCrory. It goes deep in there. Knickel played it, which negated the icing. Joe Day can't clear. Held it O'Connor. Spanked it down low. It came out in front. And then it was hooked out of there by one of the Detroit defensemen. I didn't see who it was. It might have been Kriva Isha. Puck came to center. Aeros looking very sharp. Just can't get anything by Knickel. He is standing on his lips in this hockey game. Arneal just missing Freer. And the Vipers bring it in. Yuri Kriva-Hisha trying to get by the check of O'Connor. Sends one down. It's picked up for Dave Smith. Centered! Oh, it was tipped away at the last moment. Joe Day got in there. Picked up by Jakes. Feathered to McCrory. He will sweep the center, and Stewart is back. Michael Stewart hammers it into the Aeros zone. Speared down by Gamble, and Houston Steve Jakes playing peekaboo behind the net with Craighead. Flipped one along the boards. Arneal could not corral it, and the Vipers go back. Oleg Shagarodsky drifting back into his own zone, and he will seek refuge in behind his net.
Well, I tell you what, the Aeros have come out and they've done a good job in the second period, and they continue to. Good consistency this game, and that's what's going to eventually win it for them if they keep going.
Craighead right side. Lets a shot go deflected. Conroy goes into the corner for Pavanka. Came in. Gamble had to shuffle to make the save. It's picked up by Joe Day. Circling back at a right point. Hands it back. The drive tipped away. Aeros after the loose puck. Cipriano after it. Trying to get there. He's locked up by Shagarodsky, and Oleg belts him, but he stays the puck. Centered! Stop rebound! They score! And they're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off. We'll sort this out when we return. The goal is called back. It's 2-1 Vipers. This is Saturday Night on Ice.
It has vents in 22 locations, storage compartments in 12 locations, 10 speakers in 8 locations, cup holders in 14 locations, and lights in over 20 locations. So now you know the secret to the new Dodge Caravan's user-friendly design. Location, location, location. The new Dodge Caravan. Just as original as the original.
Best friends coming of age in small-town America. Now one has committed a senseless crime.
He's not going to get caught because no one's going to tell.
And facing the truth.
Answer me why!
I didn't do anything.
Could tear their world apart. Keanu Reeves.
And you act like I'm guilty of some crime!
Dennis Hopper.
I could blow your brains out.
In a shocking and unforgettable film. River's Edge.
Sunday at 1 on UPN 20.
Welcome back to the Summit. 2-1 Detroit, and the Aeros continue to try and get the puck by Knickle. And here's a good second effort by Cipriano. That's why he's playing right now. Good second effort, dumps the puck out front, and he hits the side of the net. He gets his own rebound. Then there's players in the crease. I don't know why the goal was disallowed. It looked pretty good to me, and I think the argument might be that there were Houston players in the crease, but you know, the
puck was already there.
The puck was already there, and they're potentially pushed in. So a judgment call there.
Jakes ripped one wide. It goes down low. It's picked up by Scott McCrory. It came out in front. McCrory knocked off the puck. It's loose. Here's Freer. Can't get the shot away. Poked down into the corner. Pavanka for Detroit. Hooks it off the glass. It scoots by Pack and goes back to center. Into the Houston zone for Jakes. Lines one out at center. Arneal could not corral it. And it's chipped back by the Viper defense. Arneal picks up a loose puck. Brings it in. Arneal right side. Shake and bake. Pulls up right side. Trying to center it. It came out in front. Here's Freer. Leak shoots. Stop Knickle. On a marvelous stop in front. Freer showing tremendous patience, but couldn't get it by Knickle. Vipers turn it around. Junker across the line with Bondra. Junker pulls up, hands it over to Michael Stewart. He lost the puck, and the Aeros have a 2-on-2 the other way if they can hurry. Arneal with Freer. Joining the rush is Pack, but he'll come off for a line change. Arneal for Freer, right in. Tipped away by Knickle. And the Vipers have it. 6:08 to go. Second period. Detroit with a 2-1 lead. Aeros are all over the Vipers in this period, but they cannot get anything by Rick Knickle. O'Connor to center ice. He'll shoot it into the Detroit zone. Knickle knocked it down. Far corner, he tries to play the puck. He will, but he played it right to Mike Maurice. He can't center it. Maurice right side had it tipped away. Vipers clear, not out. In there is Donnelly. He had that stripped by David Emma, and now it is Craighead. John Craighead across the line with Loach. Craighead a sharp angle, little wrist shot low to the stick side of Gamble that he returns. And it's cleared by Houston down the ice. Icing is indicated. Vipers back, and Buzak the touch. And icing is 5:29 to play in the second. Vipers up 2-1.
Well, I tell you what, Aeros are starting to get the shots that that the opposing teams were getting on them in the first two games, and it's proving well, but they still can't get anything by Knickle, who's really standing on his head.
Monday night at 7, the captain sends 2 of her crewmen to a planet called Hell to settle their differences on Star Trek Voyager. Then at 8, Thomas Vail finds his plight unfolding before the television cameras on Nowhere Man. The action begins Monday night at 7 on UPN 20. Rick Knickle, he is playing an outstanding hockey, but his counterpart at the other end, Troy Gamble, right there with him.
He certainly has played well, and hopefully he won't have to play as well because the Aeros seem to be taking the play.
Shagorodsky fakes, lets the shot go. Gamble stopped it. It jumped up on him, and then he had a return shot from Williams that he had to stop as well. Puck came out in front. Blasting away at it was Joe Day. He and Conroy go after it. Conroy can't clear. It goes down low. Vipers have it. Joe Day, left wing. Day pulling back, getting set. Lets the shot go. Gamble stopped it. Loose puck in front. Aeros sweep to the line. Not out. Shagorodsky held it in. And then finally it was cleared. Dave Smith able to play it.
Laniel lost his stick, or he broke his stick on the play, so it was a good thing they got it out. They need a whistle right now.
Or at least get it down the ice. Conroy, he will do just that. It'll go all the way down the ice. It goes through the goal crease, meaning no icing. But that means Laniel can come off. Laniel comes to the bench. And the puck picked up by the Aeros. Jim Pack feathered one to Slivchenko. He got by Oleg, turning the shot. Knickel stopped it. Two former teammates and very close friends, Oleg Shagorodsky and Vadim Slivchenko, both from the Ukraine. Yes, Ukrainian defenseman Oleg Shagorodsky, of course, a defenseman started last year with the Aeros. And in a trade that he and Len Hackborn came to Detroit for Al Conroy. McCrory to Freer. Hands one to Arneal, trying to send one to Jakes. Of course, Len Hackborn was just let go. I think it was last week the Vipers released Len Hackborn. Joseph Tierney for Detroit. Hands one over. Bondra clips a shot. That goes high and wide over the glass. And it's out of play with under 4 minutes to go in the second period. The Vipers lead at 2-1. We'll have more from the Summit. This is Saturday night on Skate with the Houston Aeros. The Aeros have teamed up with Ocean Spray and 104 KRB. Just bring a proof of purchase of any Ocean Spray product or any canned good item to the Aerodrome in Sugar Land on October 11th and skate with some of the Houston Aero players. That's October 11th from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Aerodrome in Sugar Land. Proceeds benefit the Star of Hope mission. Aeros trailing 2-1. And a face-off to the right side of Troy Gamble. Vipers have it. Give a he shot. Long shot. Score! Gamble complaining that he was in that Lonnie Loach was in the crease, but they're going to let the goal stand.
I think that what he's complaining about really, though, is that could be possibly it, but also he thinks it was kicked in. I don't know if the puck really changed direction for it to have been kicked in, but I think they're going to give it a look. They're going to give it a look.
Let's see if we have it on UPN 20 for those of you watching.
I'm sure those guys do. They're good at their job. And look at this. In front. Puck does hit the skate, and it looks like it was kicked in, or at least directed. It doesn't have to be kicked in, but if Loach attempts to turn his skate, and you watch, he'll turn his skate out and lift his leg up, and he'll kick it right between the legs of Gamble. A good call by Gamble. A lot of, some goalies would have complained, but definitely, and that was a smart play by the referee Hansen to actually listen to Gamble. Those referees usually listen to the goalies, and a goal called back for both teams now. So I guess you can call it even. But Gamble had that one all the way, and of course Loach turned the inside of his skate towards the net. Deflected off the blade, and it went down between. And Rick Dudley, he doesn't like it at all. And of course, you'll start seeing smoke in a second if he really starts getting mad, because he doesn't like that one. As Terry Ruskowski didn't like the one disallowed at the other end.
So we're all even up.
Yeah, except for the score, which will probably change soon the way the Aeros are playing.
Puck is in the Aero end, picked up by Loach though. Loach behind the net, trying to move it out in front. Emma's there. David Emma wraparound, stop. Gamble rebound. And I think Gamble got a piece of that one. Another shot, and it's hooked wide. Aeros can't clear. It's Craighead. Scooped it for Emma. Centered, and the net becomes dislodged. With 3:34 to go in the second period, Vipers lead at 2-1. And it's time for our goaltender comparison, brought to you by Pizza Hut, where Pizza Hut delivers. Rick Knickel with 18 saves. Troy Gamble with 14 stops. And a lot of the saves, I mean, I can't wait to see the shot totals for the Aeros. They have really had a tremendous second period.
Well, you know what you look at is, and there are people that keep these kind of stats, and they're called goal-scoring chances, and that is not just a shot, but it's a shot that actually has a very high percentage chance of going in the net. And Rick Knickel has seen quite a few of those tonight, as the Aeros are really on offensively tonight, throwing a lot of a barrage at him tonight, not necessarily in number, but in difficulty, and he stood up well to the pressure.
Off the face-off, Aeros have it. Jim Pack, reverse far side, Malgunas. He takes his man into the boards. Far side, Conroy can't clear. It's held in right side. Williams scooped it down into the far corner. Vipers trying to move it out in front. It's gathered in by Darryl Williams. He's out there with Dave Williams. The defense for the Vipers. Left side, Darryl Williams sends one back behind for Stewart, looking for Smith. Pack spun off the loose puck. Darryl Williams at the hash marks left side. Worked it down for Dave Smith, who's got a goal in the hockey game. Fakes the shot, now cuts to the slot. Shoots that ricocheted wide of the net. It's finally picked up, and here come the Aeros. 3-on-2. Cipriano, lead pass Malgunas. Cutting down the left side. It's centered, tipped away by the Viper defense, and then Cipriano comes barreling in there, and he tries to knock it free. Cipriano kicked it. He is just having a whale of a hockey game, and finally it goes back down.
And you put him out with someone like Malgunas, who's already an intense person. That's a heck of a line.
Puck is in the arrow end, and boy, the stick's starting to fly now. Here's McCrory. Turns, wraparound shot, just went wide of the net, and it comes to the near side. Intensity really picked up. Jake's pounded by Williams. It comes to McCrory. Turns right in front. Poke check. Rebound. Oh, that's just wide of the net as McCrory nearly jammed one in there. Here's Arneal down low for Al Conroy. Working into the corner. Looking down for Arneal. He's in left circle cutting in. He's got one of the Vipers, Stewart, draped over him like an old shawl. And finally, it's shot out at center. Back into the Aero zone. That is offsides. Or make that the Viper zone. That's offsides. With 2:01 to play in the second period in a 2-1 hockey game.
You think Taraskowski wants his team to get this one in? McCrory was all over the net that play.
He hit his glove, I think.
Oh, you know what? And I don't know how Knickel, Terry's just shaking his head, because you keep throwing those kind of shots at a goaltender. Eventually they're going to go in, but Knickel somehow getting a glove, a pad, a stick, something on it, and keeping that puck out of the net. But I mean, I tell you what, I don't care what, you get enough chances like that, and they're going to go in. And I hope there's no frustration factor on the bench right now, because I tell you what, with this kind of pressure, it's going to pay dividends pretty soon. And with guys like Scott McCrory, it's going to pay maybe sooner than we think.
Puck controlled by Detroit, and the Vipers get it to center. Tom Bissett turns it around, lodged it into the Viper end, knocked down by Knickel, and the Vipers play it. Behind the net, it's Bradshaw. Quick pass, snapped all the way through center to go down. Gamble forced to play it. That'll negate the icing. Steve Jakes. He reversed it behind his net for Arneal, along the left side for Jim Pack. He's pushed off the puck by Junker. Bondra trying to move it in there. Junker's got it back in the circle, but he lost it. And the Aeros skated out. Tom Bissett can't handle the Arneal pass. Vipers turn around. Freer trying to move it up there as he's reunited with Arneal and Bissett. That was a line that was touted coming into the season. McCrory has since replaced Bissett, but right now, Bissett playing with that line. Puck shot in by Detroit into the Aero zone with 1:10 to go. And the Aeros go back to play it.
Interesting move for Terry to switch the lines up like that when they're getting so much pressure, but maybe it's turned even to more pressure.
Bissett, right side, getting set. Fired it down for Arneal, base of the right circle. Arnie getting set as he tipped one in there, and it was blocked by Shargorodski. Aeros, Arneal, all over a loose puck along the right wing boards. Pushed away Bissett, came to the line, out at center, and the Vipers have a 2-on-1. Emma had one tipped by O'Connor. It came to Craighead, centered for Emma, and he redirected it just wide of the net. Gamble played that pretty well.
He did. He came and cut down the angle. No chance to get that one tipped in.
Half a minute to go in the period. Still 2-1 Detroit. It's brought in by the Vipers. And now it's David Emma trying to slice in on goal. It came out in front, rejected by Bissett. Miles O'Connor is there to flip it off the glass and back to center. Dave Williams into his own zone for Michael Stewart. 13 seconds to play. Stewart, pass intercepted O'Connor. Overskated by Gord Donnelly, handed back. Donnelly's got it. Donnelly shoots it into the Detroit zone with 3 seconds left, and that is your second period, but a very inspiring second period for the Houston Aeros, although they don't score a goal.
They don't get a goal, neither team does, and it's a little disappointing in that aspect because the Aeros deserved about 2 or 3 that period. But I tell you what, if they stick with it, the goals will come, and they might even come earlier in the third period than you might think it, but they got to keep it up. They got to keep their consistency.
It is 2-1, the Vipers leading the Houston Aeros. We are in the second period intermission. We'll have our intermission for you when we return. It's Saturday night on Ice. Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay, a 2-1 hockey game. The Vipers leading the Houston Aeros, and after watching the first 2 regular season games where the Aeros gave up 15 goals and really were outplayed viciously in both those games, it's really a pleasure to see what we're seeing tonight.
And not only that, they're sticking with a team that's 3-0 so far this season. Detroit, definitely a goal-scoring department, and the Aeros are sticking with them. They're actually outplaying them. They definitely outplayed them in the second period there.
Absolutely. I think it's safe to say that Rick Knickel is the difference in this hockey game.
Oh, he certainly is. I mean, he's making saves that by some people's standards he has no right making, but he is a great goaltender, so they're going to have to keep pounding on him because eventually they will get a goal by him.
We have seen a smattering in that period from Mark Cipriano as far as shifts go. He's not really taking a regular shift, but when he gets out there, he's making things happen. I thought the last shift he had with Kevin Malgunas was one of his finer shifts.
Well, it certainly was. As you said, this guy was injured last year, and he's gotten a second chance, and he's making good on that second chance because he's coming out and he's playing like a guy possessed, and you get him on a line with a guy like Malgunas, and with Conroy on that line. I mean, this is going to be a scary line for checking.
And we get into the third period. The Aeros are right where they want to be at this point. You saw the frustration of Terry Ruskowski. When are we going to score? When are we going to score? If they keep that up, I think they're going to dent the twine.
Well, I think so, and Terry's probably telling them to keep their composure, keep hammering on this guy. Puck's going to go in sometime, or I'm going to have a heart attack. One of the two. So he's telling them to keep going.
Don't take me with you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we have taken with us is our UPN cameras. We've been roaming the city trying to find youth hockey, regular roller hockey, everything. And let's feature a little music video with some youth roller hockey. Welcome back. It's 2-1, and we will have more from the Summit right after this. It's a 2-1 hockey game. The Detroit Vipers leading the Houston Aeros. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay. And, the big thing is the Turner Cup, and that is the ring, the Turner Cup ring of my broadcast partner, Mike Greenlay. Maybe one of the greatest thrills of your life.
It certainly was. And you know what? This year, I want an Aero logo on that one.
Do you?
I do.
Keep playing like they are tonight. You might see that.
I certainly think we will.
Recapping the scoring in the second period. There, we're done. We can take you back to the first period where Dave Smith at 5:38 got the first goal. Lonnie Loach and Michael Pavanka getting the assist. But the Aeros tied it up at 1 as Mark Cipriano getting his first career IHL goal. Kevin Malgunas and Al Conroy getting the assist. But right back, the Vipers come. And it was Peter Bondra from Pavanka and Kriva Hishaw at 16:55. And it's 2-1 in favor of the Detroit Vipers. Of course, the cold season is here. And, just a second. My allergies. Let's take time out for good health. It's allergies tonight.
Time Out for Good Health is presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. A new commitment in healthcare together.
I'm Dr. McAfee. I'm a dermatologist. I also practice allergy and preventive medicine here at Bel Air Hospital. Today during timeout, we're going to speak to you about allergies. Exactly what are allergies and what is an allergy? An allergy is an offensive agent which brings about an inflammatory response in an animal or human being. What are some of the symptoms? Some of the symptoms are wheezing, coughing, congestion, sneezing, diarrhea, constipation, crampy abdominal pain. Those are only a few. No one is immune to allergies. Allergies can affect you from infancy to 90 years of age. So, if you think that you have an allergy, please consult your primary care physician or a specialist. Thank you for tuning in for Time Out for Good Health.
Time Out for Good Health was presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
Columbia Healthcare partners with 16 neighborhood locations in the greater Houston area. No other hospitals come close. 2-1, Vipers leading this hockey game. We're getting set for the third period. When we return, we'll take a look at the highlights when we come back. Vipers with a 2-1 lead over the Houston Aeros. Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay, and not a lot of goal-scoring highlights to talk about, but Greener, why don't you take us through the near misses?
Well, we certainly will, and in the second period, there were quite a few of them. Here's one of them, a shot from the point, and you can see Lonnie Loach is trying to get his foot out of the way. He inadvertently kicks the puck through the legs of Gamble. Gamble complains, and disallowed goal, the second one of this evening. And then right after that, you have a near miss. It appeared he got maybe the tip of his glove on it, but I tell you what, good effort in front by a lot of guys, and Terry pulling his hair out saying, why can't we get that puck in there? But a lot of near misses, and I tell you what, you keep that kind of pressure on, and eventually one of these is going to go in.
Taking a look at the stats in that second period, the shots 14-9, the Aeros out shooting the Vipers. 14 saves for Rick Knickel, 9 saves for Troy Gamble. Both teams had a goal called back in that period. The Vipers 0 for 1 on the power play. The Houston Aeros were 0 for 2 on the man advantage. So it is a 2-1 lead. A quick thought of the first 5 minutes, how crucial it is for the Aeros to keep the pressure going.
Well, we talked about consistency. The Aeros have to come out and keep doing what they've been doing all period.
It is really, I think, up to guys. It's surprising. I think guys like Mark First, Scott O'Neill, Scott McCrory, that line has played well. It's time for them maybe to step up and put one in.
And actually, Terry's been doing a little switching around. He's got Bissett on that line now, and they've been doing well together too. So I mean, to get all the guys skating the way they are tonight, I said, just keep it going, and you're going to get a goal.
I think Terry was really concerned about discipline coming into this game, and it quite frankly really hasn't been a factor.
It hasn't. There haven't been a lot of penalties. The ones that have been called haven't been too many obstruction calls, or haven't been too many retaliation calls. So I mean, so far it's been pretty good on the penalty department, and that's just because there's been a lot of pressure by the Aeros.
The Vipers with a 2-1 lead. I think really you look at the way that Troy Gamble has played in this hockey game is kind of overshadowed by the way that Rick Knickel has played in this hockey game. I don't know how much longer he's been a factor in every game that he's played in. I mean, you mentioned that he's a 5-time All-Star. I think at this point you just got to get one by him, tie the game up, and get the momentum riding into the latter stages of this third period.
Well, like you talk about momentum, and I think the Aeros have gained the momentum in the second period. They just have to carry it into the third. If they can get one on Knickel, you never know. That might be the one that breaks the dam, and you never know. You might be floodgates open after that.
2-1, the Vipers leading the Aeros. When we return, third period action. We'll be right back. It's Saturday night on ice. Same score we had at the end of 1, we have at the end of 2. It's the Vipers 2, the Aeros 1, and Troy Gamble, he's living the good life again, playing well. I'm trying to think, the preseason and the games that he's played, he has not had he has had, in the 4 appearances he's had great outings. That's the nice thing. Rick Knickel, on the other hand, standing on his lips, made some unbelievable saves.
He certainly has, and you look at the score, and again you came back and said it's still 2-1, and this is the kind of game that the Aeros want to play. This is the kind of game that the Aeros can win. I mean, Terry Ruskowski doesn't want a wide open, high flying game where there's you may win 8-7 or something like that. That's not the kind of game that Terry Ruskowski wants his team to play, because the players aren't suited for that on this team. They're suited for a nice low score, defensive, hard work hard-working, along-the-wall kind of gritty game, and that's the kind of coach Terry Ruskowski is, and that's the kind of team he wants. And that's the kind of game you're getting right now. And I tell you what, it looks good for the Aeros because that's what's gonna fare best for the Aeros, especially tonight, as you see. And the only difference is that Knickles stood on his head.
Rick Dudley, the head coach of the Vipers, I don't know what he's upset about, but he's definitely torqued about something. But we're ready to go. Third period action, 2-1 the Vipers. Shargaransky for Detroit across the arrow line. He will bring it in offsides. Play whistle down, and let's take it down to Rob Dobson. Dauber, what was talked about in the locker room?
Well, I think that you just have to look at the period. We finally got to playing the style of hockey that we wanted to play. You know, taking the body and making some things happen down low. Unfortunately, as things go in hockey, we weren't able to score. But you know, I think that the guys are upbeat about it. No one's frustrated. I think I'm the only one down here that's frustrated. But it's a thing where you don't want to press too hard to get that goal. You just keep going hard and hopefully get it, and don't let up on your defensive assignments, and things will happen for us.
Yeah, you've mentioned, Dauber, that the team is close. Let's see if they can get one.
Yeah, they'll get it.
All right, thanks, Dauber. Here's a puck turned out in front. Shargaransky left side lets the shot go. It was blocked by Freer, and it scoops back to center and into the Detroit zone, where it's chased down by Brad Shaw. Shaw off the boards near side, winged ahead to Peter Bondra, and he'll turn back into his own. Had it jammed away by McCrory. Aeros go after it. It's Scott Arneal, base of the right circle. Reversed it down McCrory. Snap for Freer behind the net. Freer comes out in front. Freer can't get a shot away. Bondra's on his case. Picked up by McCrory. Cuts out. Can't get a shot away. Tipped loose and skated by Michael Povanka to center ice. Across the line with Bondra and Junker. Center pass. It was knocked away. Povanka again pushed off the puck. That is brought in offsides, and the play is whistled down. A minute gone to the third. A 2-1 Viper lead.
And a very, very big hit by Jakes there, and I think he might even hurt his own hip. And Terry Ruskowski being a little vocal there. Look at Jakes, rides him off well, and bang. I mean, those are the kind of hits that have made the Aeros play so well tonight, because it just nullifies any offensive threat, and it turns the puck right back up ice. That's what the Aeros are doing. Positive tonight.
Old-time hockey, eh?
Yep. Just like old Eddie Shack. Eddie Shack's back.
Putting the foil on as the puck goes down to Troy Gamble, and he just covers it up and holds on. That guy, you know, I've never met such a cool customer, whether it's 8-0 for him or against him, or in a 1-1 game in the playoffs. He's just even keel. When you
have a position that requires that much mental concentration, and you either have to be so keyed up that you don't worry about anything, or you have to be so relaxed that you're like, hey, I'm just going to go with the flow. And that's Troy Gamble. I'm going to go with the flow.
Puck in the arrow end. Loach trying to spear it out of there. He slipped it out in front, but Yo takes over for Houston. Can he clear the zone? No. He'll try it again. Just back in front, a pass to Miles O'Connor. O'Connor gives it right back to Laniel. For Slivchenko, make it Conroy. Can't find the handle, and the Vipers turn it around, but O'Connor intercepted the arrow blue line. Long lead pass. Yo tipped it for Conroy. Just a little offside. And play whistle down.
And you see that Terry Ruskowski is again, he must have a mix master down there, because he's really switching these lines up, which is good though, because it keeps guys like Dudley there's Terry Ruskowski, but it keeps guys like Dudley, his counterpart, guessing, because of course Terry Ruskowski has the last change, and therefore he can put whatever line up against whatever opposing line he wants. And so he's been switching the lines up, and it's been successful. And that second period was totally dominated by the Aeros. Let's see if they can really dominate the third as well.
Smith against Maurice. There's another guy, Mike Maurice. You're just waiting for him to break out with a big night. Miles O'Connor rips it into the Detroit zone. Sliced along the boards. Donnelly chipped it down, but intercepted by Dave Williams. Cleared to the line, not out. Bissett held it into Maurice. Circles back, right side. Maurice flipped it along the boards, but Joe Day takes over for Detroit and cleared to center. Up ice, it's Darryl Williams. Williams across the line, poke checked off his stick by Gord Krupke, who's got a little bit of a banged up shoulder. It looked like he had in that fight with Darryl Williams, but back out there taking the punishment. O'Connor across the line. That was poke checked away. Aeros regroup at center. Bissett, hometown Seattle, Washington, shoots the puck into the Detroit zone. And it's picked up by the Vipers. In behind the net, Michael Stewart. He will fling the pass
to the right side. Dave Williams on defense, meanders out at center. Turn it back into the Aero zone with 2.5 gone. Third period. Vipers up a goal. Arneal, a rink-wide pass for Krupke. Hits the line, gives to McCrory. It was tipped away by Pavanka, but Arneal jumps on a loose puck. Arneal back to the line for Pack. Having a little trouble corralling it. Lets a shot go. That's batted away by Stewart. Knocked for McCrory to Pack. Line, shoots, ricocheted in front. And Arneal turned with a little backhander that he couldn't get toward the goal. And it's picked up by Detroit. Shaw wheeling up and out of his zone. Shaw then had to regroup on the forecheck of McCrory. Pass off the left side for Michael Pavanka. He'll shoot it into the arrow end. After it, it's Freer trying to move it through Bondra. It came to Jim Pack. Now for Scott Arneal. Quick pass to center. Just missing McCrory. And Shargorodsky goes back. Oleg Shargorodsky, when he gets some ice to skate, he really can wheel with the best of them.
And a big man, too.
McCrory tips a puck away from Josef Tierney. It came down the right side. Shargorodsky pushing into the corner with Freer, or meet that Arneal, rather. And the Vipers take over. Shot in by Andrujak. Jakes chased it down. Icy negated. They say it was played by the Vipers. At center, Freer with Jim Pack. They'll just shoot it in and come off for the line change. 5 fresh skaters out for the Aeros. Oleg Shargorodsky for Detroit. Pass for Greg Andrujak, barreling down the left side across the line. He takes a hit from Miles O'Connor, rather. That was 44 O'Connor. And the Aeros come away with it. They've got a 3-on-3. Down the left side, Malgunas hits the line. Dropped it back for Cipriano. Big shot, and he hammered it just wide of the net. Loach to center. Here come the Vipers, left side. Loach across the line, cuts right in on goal! And Campbell rejects that. And then Loach goes smoking into the net, and play is whistled down. We've played 4 minutes, 10 seconds of this third period, and the Vipers with a 2-1 lead, and we'll have more IHL action from the Summit when we return. This is Saturday Night on Ice.
What do you get when you fly the low-fare airline? Fun fares.
Well, you've waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now. You really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines' new fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
Come along with us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now. You really should fly. And you'll have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, flying on a fun fair.
It's an all-new skating special with a different spin. Now, the world's hottest Olympic skaters are moving to the music of Aerosmith, Peter Gabriel, K.D. Lang, the Rolling Stones, and more. See Christy Yamaguchi, Scott Hamilton, Katarina Witt, and other international favorites executing moves so hot they're banned from the Olympics. MTV's Bill Bellamy hosts when the coolest moves in skating and the hottest licks in rock collide. Greatest hits on ice.
Tuesday night at 8 on UPN 20.
3 games you see on your screen on UPN 20. The LA Ice Dogs on the 13th, the Atlanta Knights the 22nd, these Vipers again on the 20th, all returning to the Summit to take on the Aeros. Those games, by the way, will also be seen on Prime. Don't forget, on the 14th, the Aeros will be in Cincinnati, and that game will be right here on UPN 20. And one more reminder, every game will be heard live on 950 KPRC. Puck is back in the Detroit zone. They lead it 2-1, but the Aeros have come out, created some chances, but really haven't tested Knickle too much in this period like they did in the second. Puck back in the Aero zone. Laniel, long pass intercepted by the Viper defense and turned around at center. Dave Smith across the line. Smith sends one right in. Great pass and a marvelous save by Gamble. Holy smoke! Troy Gamble, a magnificent save in front as he robbed, I think it was Craighead that came in there.
Well, I tell you what, it was a magnificent save. And look at how they split the defense there. Actually, he got the puck a little too far away from, actually, it was Joe Day. And Joe Day's not the kind of guy that you want to have the puck there. Watch it just split the defense here as he just sneaks in behind. And Gamble with a toe save there, and then is able to cover up the rebound so that they're in a reverse angle here. Nice feed. It was a great pass, but he couldn't convert as Gamble continues to play well. And both goaltenders, for that matter. It's just that we haven't had to see anything from Rick Knickle yet this period.
Face off, left side of Gamble. 15:21 to go in the third. Vipers with a 2-1 lead. Aeros next action, period. I mean, they got the week off after this. Will be Friday against the LA Ice Dogs right here in the Summit. It's face off between Mark Freer and Michael Pavanka. They joust, and Pavanka wins it. Bondra skipped it back to the line for Shaw. Roll it down deep in Aero territory behind the Aero cage. Fouled it up by Steve Jakes. Turned one up for McCrory. Can he clear it? Yes, he will. And the Aeros have a 2-on-2 if they can turn it, but Freer had to go back and regroup to Arneal. Roll off his twig, and the Vipers clear it. Michael Pavanka just missing Steve Junker, and Freer goes back. Sends it to Jim Pack in his own zone. Rolled one out to Jakes. Lead pass for Freer, and that is over 2 lines. Cannot do that. 5 minutes gone in the third with a whistle. 2-1.
Can't do that yet. At least they actually spoke about. Well, they actually spoke about you know, potentially taking the red line out here and there. All these things. You know, we sit there and we talk about, oh, they're starting to call this penalty more and that penalty more, and they're starting to do this. Well, this is all a big master plan, and they're trying to speed this game up. They're trying to get you know, they're trying to allow the goal scorers to do their thing and everything like that. So you don't want people holding other people up. And Gord Donnelly, of course, knows all about crashing down low. But all this is supposed to speed up the game, and the game looks pretty darn fast to me up here.
Puck is in center ice, and for those of you looking for Aeros tickets, season tickets, 627 AERO for individual game tickets. You can stop by any Ticketmaster, 629-3700. Puck is in the Viper zone now, turned around by Shaw. Came to the line, not out, held in by Houston. Down low, Gord Donnelly looked in front to Maurice, banked one off the net, had to go play it back in the near corner. Donnelly sends one out in front for Bissett, trying to stick handle through traffic, knocked free, cleared out to center. Here come the Vipers left and right. Craighead across the line, trying to move in on his Miles O'Connor's each were 44. Puck near side. Maurice trying to fend one away. It came behind, gave it Emma, wrap around. I think Campbell somehow shuffled that one out of there. Puck came out in front as it's looped away by Loach. Loach behind the cage, whapped by O'Connor.
And Gamble's broken his stick, which is really dangerous. More dangerous than a defenseman losing his stick.
And the Aeros finally get the puck cleared, and they can't get a stick to Gamble yet. Jakes comes out on the ice to replace the line. He's got 2 sticks.
I'm surprised. That could be a penalty potentially. That is a penalty. You're not allowed to bring your goalie his stick, I don't think.
Hey, that might be too many men, is what they'll call that.
I really wish I knew that rule, because I've never ever seen. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a player grab a goalie stick and skate it to the net, and I'm not sure what that was all about.
What would be the call? I guess it's just too many men. Well, but it really wasn't.
I don't know what they call it, because I don't know, maybe since the ref had to blow the whistle called delay of game or something. I have no idea. I've never seen that before, and that's an unprecedented move there, Adam. But you are the defenseman. You know what happened is you had Miles O'Connor give his stick to Troy Gamble. That is perfectly legal. He's allowed to play with that stick.
Dave Tippett, who's normally a little mild-mannered, he got a little animated there.
Well, he certainly did. He is a very mild-mannered person, but that call, I'm not using illegal equipment. Yes, he's not allowed to bring him the stick. And you know what? You know why he got the penalty was because he was carrying a goalie stick. I don't think a player is allowed to skate around with a goalie stick, but he had 2 sticks, and you know obviously can't carry around 2 sticks. So that was the right call, and and here you have O'Connor, and that's perfectly legal. He's allowed to play with a defenseman's stick, but here comes Jakes. He's got 2 sticks there. He's stick handling with himself. He made a beautiful pass to himself, but I mean you can't do that. Oh, and you know what? I tell you the truth, I'm not sure what the call would have been if the puck didn't come to him, but the puck came to him. He's stick handling with 2 sticks. I guess he's playing with illegal equipment. Oh, is that funny? But not very funny, because they're on the penalty kill now.
Pavanka. Oh, I've seen it all now. Puck is down low. Pavanka got it back to the right circle, getting set. Rolled it down. Peter Bondra for Pavanka along the right side. It was tipped away by the Aero defense. It cuts out in front. Aero is clear to the line, knocked down by Shaw. Aeros can't muscle it out of there. Second effort is finally cleared, but they're going to whistle it dead. Hand pass.
I think it was gloved ahead. But yeah, that is peculiar, because I have never seen that play before. But Hansen, and I think the reason why Tippett was so mad is because when you get a play like that, I mean, Jakes there, he brought the stick out, but you get a play like that, you usually say, oh, come on, ref, you got to let that go. But that's the only time you could call a penalty like that. He had to call it. It was a good call. It was unfortunate that the puck came to Jakes, because I don't think he would have caught it if the puck hadn't come to Jakes, and he had to play it. And so therefore he's sitting 2 minutes. First power play of this period.
Face-off controlled by the Vipers. Shargaransky threw a hand grenade right off the skates of Shaw. Chased back down. Shaw fired one to Michael Pavanka. Shaw will set up behind the net. Goes into forecheck a little bit here, trying to kill off this power play. Vipers come to center ice. Peter Bondra shoots it into Aero territory. Out of the net Gamble, but it was intercepted. Pavanka chipped it far side for Smith. Back to Pavanka. Now Bondra right side. Peter Bondra waiting, drifting back. Right point, rink wide pass for Shaw. He was pinching down the back door, but had to go back. And then Arneal kind of moving out of there, and we got a penalty on Brad Shaw.
Do you think it's hooking obstruction or obstruction hooking?
Oh, boy.
I think it was, but nevertheless, it was interference as Arneal had clear cut at that puck, and Shaw just hauled him right down. Here he goes, Shaw. Shaw gets poke check. Good job by Arneal. He saw that Shaw was on his backhand and couldn't really do anything with it. Shaw has to haul him down, but it'll even up the play for at least another minute, and it'll give the Houston Aeros a minute on a power play and maybe a chance to tie this game up.
Face-off will be brought to center ice. We'll go 4-on-4 for minute 1, and then the Aeros will get 59 seconds of a power play.
It's funny to watch the players' reaction when they throw that obstruction in front of it, because it's become kind of annoying to the players to see obstruction this, obstruction that, but it's a good call.
Puck controlled by Detroit. Craig Andrusjak feathered one over to the left side. He shot back to Andrusjak. Savchenko came in there to try and pump it away. David Emma jumped on the loose puck. Lets a shot go, and Gamble with a nice little sweeping glove save to deny that from the jaws of the twine. 2-1. Vipers lead it. We'll have more after this. This is Saturday Night on Ice.
David Emma trying to make the score 3-1 here. Takes a sharp angle shot, and Troy Gamble making it look real easy as he pokes his glove out and freezes the puck. The Houston Aeros still have 46 seconds on the, or actually no, it's even right now, and there you go. That looked like it was catching the inside post, but a good job by the defenseman forcing Emma wide there. And Gamble, like I said, he'll take a shot like that any day. I'll take a shot like that any day from a wide angle, and he did a good job of freezing that one up. It's even for another 46 seconds, it looks like, 47 seconds, and then Houston will go on the power play for a minute.
Puck is in Houston territory, and we're going to get an obstruction penalty to Miles O'Connor. And we were doing so well, Greener, without the...
I spoke a little too soon there. Miles O'Connor, I believe he hooked down the Detroit player to come up with a puck. And oh, he's going to get a holding call. But down low, Miles O'Connor is not very happy with it. We get a good look at it here. Miles gets beat to the puck because he was actually working up ice, and he tangles up his player, and of course picks up the puck, but also picks up a penalty. And oh, Terry's livid about that one. Actually, you know what Terry's livid about is the fact that the players aren't on the ice. He wants the play to go. He wants to be able to have that last change. He doesn't want their team to be able to match any certain players up with any players up from his own team. And Terry wasn't very happy about that one.
Face off.
Dudley pulling a little sneak there.
Face off to the left of Troy Gamble. Conroy wins it to Jim Pack. Spikes it to the line. Held in Shargaransky. 4-on-3 for Detroit. Pavanka to the line. Shargaransky. Bondra getting set to the line. Shargaransky, big shot wide. It came to the near side. Back left wing. Here's the drive by Andrusjak. And Gamble with a nice save, and he will hold on.
That was an incredible save, Adam. That was on a one-time shot, and Gamble able to get across in time, and not just get across, but he actually has time to come out a couple feet, which cuts down the angle even more. And just a great save. Here you see the pass across. It's a one-timer. Gamble's already there and snags it. Nobody in front, which is a tribute to the defenseman in front, clearing the guys out so Gamble can see that kind of shot.
Off the face-off, Shargaransky, and we're going to get another penalty. Nice sticking.
I think Hansen might have looked at his sheet and said, "Hey, there's no penalties in this game." And now he's really starting. I think that's a third penalty this period so far, maybe the fourth.
Fourth.
That's the fourth call this period, and so far, and now we'll go 3-on-3, I believe.
I like this for 18 seconds.
Yeah, you don't see very much of this. The 3-on-3. This is where people shine. The quick, shifty players, they really shine.
This is where a guy like a Slivchenko would be outstanding if he had a little more defensive presence.
Oh, exactly. I mean, everyone knows Slivchenko can stick handle his way in a phone booth, but I mean, you know, you need some support out there as well. And I'm surprised he's not out there now. But then again, you do have Freer out there who's no slouch himself.
Looking across to take the draw. Mark Laniel's got blood on his jersey. I don't know if he got hit or something earlier, but I see something red. Unless he's getting ready for Aeros stock and just starting to tie-dye his jersey now. Laniel hands one over to Freer. He'll circle back into his own zone, and Freer will set up camp behind the cage. 3-on-3 for another 2 seconds. Now the Aeros with a power play for 50 seconds. It is Freer across the line with Laniel. Looking for Arneal. It came to Pack. Jimmy Pack sets it up, swings one over to Laniel, right back down low for Freer. Now it's Laniel, couldn't get the shot away. Sets it up on the power play to Freer, cutting down, waiting. Freer still with the puck, showing patience, lets the shot go right on Kinnickle with the save. And I'll tell you, and this might come from your kind of experience, when you start leaning back and you're falling back with the puck in you got to not only have the presence of mind not to let the puck go in, but you got to hope maybe the whistle sounds so that you don't bring it into your net.
Well, yeah, he trapped it between his pads, and good, like you said, good patience for Freer here on the point. I believe it's Freer who winds up with his shot and finally gets a shot here, and he just walks, and finally he just tees it up, and good pressure in front of the net there, but Kinnickle followed that one all the way in, and he just held it. And you're right, as a goaltender, you stand there and you know you have it because you can feel the sting of the puck, but you don't know whether it's dropped between your legs or dropped to the side, so you just fall back and hope you're on top of it.
Puck came back to the line. Laniel, couldn't quite hold it in. Tried to maybe sneak one by the line. It was a bouncing puck.
And that was one of the first shots, actually, first testers. I wasn't really that big of a
look at his lip. He got clipped.
Yeah, he might have gotten a stick or an elbow or something, but he'll probably take a zipper on that one after the game. But as I was saying, though, I mean, they haven't, obviously the penalties have played a big role in this, but not a lot of pressure by the Aeros so far this period.
Off the face-off, Houston with a power play for another half minute. Conroy shoots the puck in. Chipped it back, Arneal. He'll set up right point. Arneal now with a shot right on. Kinnickle stopped it, but nobody in front to get on that rebound. Puck came back to line. Laniel with 15 to go on this 4-on-3. Lets the shot go. Score! Mark Laniel! It might have been deflected. This hockey game is tied at 2.
It's only a matter of time, Adam. Only a matter of time. And when you get these guys who have been playing so well in the power play, they've been working on it so well, you get guys like Arneal, Freer, Laniel out there shooting away and working the front of the net, getting shots in there and trying their deflections. I think Freer might have got a stick on that one, we're not sure, but even if he didn't, what he did do is he jumped in front of Kinnickle. The shot comes and it looks like it was deflected, but even if it wasn't deflected, Freer made a perfect screen on that one. And yes, he did get a piece of it, I think. And what an excellent play. You know, it wasn't even that hard of a shot by Laniel. He just tried to put it towards the net, and Freer did the rest, and trying to screen, and he actually got a piece of it, knocking it against the grain of Kinnickle. And we have a tie ball game, I said.
There you go.
We have a tie game here, and there's plenty of time left in this one.
Face off at center ice. And the Aeros have got it. Jim Patton. Drift back into his own zone. And it's Mike Maurice as Laniel gets credit with a goal. Maurice moves through the neutral zone, trying to slide one in across the line. And it goes behind the net as Conroy gets an assist. So Conroy's got a pair of helpers tonight. We knew he'd be effective somehow. He's always there.
He's always in the mix somehow.
Here's Loach, centered one. Oh, smoking down like a pack of menthols was one of the Vipers. I think it was Bonder, or no, it was Emma that came smoking down there and fanned on it. Puck goes to the far side for Maurice. And away he will come. 10-22 to go. Maurice across the line. Dropped it back. The chance for Pack. Wide, shoots. Kinnickle stopped it. Rebound. Picked up by Malgunas. Spigot Bissett, rather. Bissett, wheeling, winding, fakes the shot, now back the one-timer, and he ripped it wide of the net. Puck came back to left point. O'Connor gathers the puck in, scooped it down. Maurice cuts through traffic, lost the puck. It came out at center, but the Aeros all of a sudden with some jump back in this game, tied at 2. It's shot into the Detroit zone. Shaw's got it for the Vipers, having a little trouble. He'll chase it down to the far corner. Shaw, the center, away by Laniel, and the Aeros shoot it in. Out of the net, it's Rick Knickle. Moving over to Shaw. He'll skate away from Conroy. Fired one to neutral. Vipers will bring it ahead. Dave Smith across the line. Hands one in there for Joe Cole. Driving gamble. The sticks hanging a beauty. And the puck goes to Laniel. Rolled it to the near side. Yo. Watched by Shaw. He tackles him. That'll be 1st and 10. They go at it near side. And finally we got a whistle with 9:21 to go in this 3rd period. Aeros 2, Vipers 2.
All it took was a goal to spark both these teams. You saw Loach just missing a chance down low in the Aeros zone, and then after that it was all Aeros peppering shots towards the net and actually forcing very well down low. I mean, after a goal is usually a very crucial time for both teams. No, it doesn't matter whether you've scored the goal or whether you've had the goal scored on you. I tell you what, it was a good idea for the Aeros to come out hard the way they did. And as soon as everybody was a 5-on-5, it really showed that the Aeros haven't lost a step from the 2nd period.
Face off, left of Gamble. Top of the puck. And Jakes has got it in behind the net. He's belted by Junker. McCrory trying to chip it off the boards. McCrory going skate to skate in there with scrum along the wall. They continue to grind it out. Shargorodsky was in the middle of it. The Aeros turn and flip it to center. It'll go back to the Viper end. Brad Shaw, forechecked by Arneal. He'll seek refuge behind the net. Arneal tries to flush him out to the far side. Shargorodsky tipped one ahead. Pack is there. Jim Pack. Center ice pass finds its way to Scott Arneal, and he'll shoot it into the Detroit zone. Rick Knickle slowed it. McCrory hustles in there to try and chip it loose, and Arneal's still trying to grind it out. McCrory had it. It came in front. There with a shot. There was Knickle. Oh, give me a chest to lean on, baby. A nice stop there, and that'll test your metal a little bit. Here comes Pavanka across the line. Had a poke check by the Aero defense and turned around by Arneal. Right side, shoots it into the Vipers zone. Michael Stewart chased it down, far corner, flipped it to the line. It went all the way to center ice. Loach goes after it. He's there. He will turn and pepper it out at center. Conroy, rink wide pass, threw it off the skates of Bonder. Wrong guy to give it to. Turn for Loach, give it back. Emma cutting down the left side, slicing it on goal. O'Connor stands him up. They grapple in the corner. O'Connor all locked up in there. Conroy trying to work over Loach. They continue to go at it. Good battle along the boards, and we get a whistle, and play is halted with 8 minutes to go. 3rd period. Game is tied at 2. Miles O'Connor having a wonderful game, and we'll talk more when we get back. It's 2-2. UPN Saturday night on ice.
I trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show him, kid.
Oh, boy. The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
A maverick cop discovers the Big Apple is rotten.
If he was dirty, I'd know it. I see another dead witness who could have called him a liar.
Always living on the edge of temptation.
You are a drunk, a liar, and you destroyed my daughter.
Caught between politics and power.
There's an APB out on me. They're calling me Mad Dog Devil. Half the cops in this town would shoot me if they had a chance.
Lloyd Bridges and Brian Brown in the broadcast premiere. Devlin.
Sunday at 5 on UPN 20.
A 2-2 game, and here's a prime reason why the Aeros are being so successful defensively. Like, look, he pokes the puck away, O'Connor does, and just stays with him, works him, takes the body. He's not even concerned with the puck right now. He's concerned with a man, and then you see Conroy in on the action too. O'Connor's playing very well defensively, and he's actually a very good offensive defenseman as well. Say that 3 times fast.
No, that's all right. You just did. Face off to the left of Gamble. Krupke's got it. He'll flip it along the board to the far side. Cipriano lets it go. It'll go down the ice and into Detroit territory. Now Gunas after it. And the Vipers reverse it, but it took a weird hop out in front, but Conroy couldn't come into it. Conroy skating well tonight. Puck slipped over the stick of Krupke, and it went back into the Viper end. Dave Williams with 7:39 to go. Third period, 2-2 game. Puck is at center. Laniel chased it down. He'll move through the neutral zone. Laniel's got the game-tying goal right now, and then he'll roll it off the boards to the near side. Bissett, he'll charge it right back into the Viper zone. After it's Smith, icing indicated, and icing is blown. And then Donnelly came in there, kind of muscled his way. And finally, we get our whistle with the game tied at 2. Be a part of the IHL 96 All-Star Weekend. Friday, January 12th, the Houston Aeros are hosting an All-Star Charity Golf Tournament benefiting the Houston Aero Charities. You'll be playing with members of the 1980 U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey team, 74-75 Houston Aeros championship team, and IHL All-Star team. For more information, call the Aeros at 621-2842.
Well, you see on that last play, Donnelly came down on the icing call, and he's the kind of forward that's going to mix things up. And you know, I mean, he almost caused a little ruckus down there behind the net. Terry Ruskowski probably liking what he sees tonight, because the Aeros have really turned over a new leaf after those first 2 games.
7:20 to go. Shaw right side lets it go out at center. Shaw back at his own blue line. Flip the puck left side. Vipers shoot it into the Aero end. After it, Jim Pack chipped it off the glass. It came to the near side. It's rolled down. Gamble out to play it. Gamble behind the net. McCrory far side. Blasted to the line. Not out. Now Jake's in there. It's worked away by Pavanka for Detroit, but now the Aeros come out with it. 3-on-2. And a penalty. Late call coming up for the Detroit Vipers. 3-on-2 Aeros. Freer. Arneal shoots. Booker saved by Knickel. Aeros still with it. Delayed penalty comes in there. And we're going to get our... No, play going on. I thought we had our whistle. Maurice in a corner. Hands it back behind the net, and there's our whistle. And the Aeros are going to get a power play. A hooking call to the Detroit Vipers.
I tell you what, Dudley doesn't like this one at all, and that was actually, I think, a pretty good call by Hansen there. He was actually interfered there on the play, and so they get a power play off of that.
Let's go down to Rob Dobson. Dauber, that goal tying things up must have really motivated the bench.
Again, Adam, sorry I didn't hear you.
I was asking about that second goal from Laniel. Really pumped the bench up, eh?
Yeah, I think it did. You know, like I said, we kept getting quality shots on goal, and eventually one was going to go in. It's kind of funny. I looked like a scapegoat there for a while. I was the one that handed Jakesy the stick. But, you know, it's good. Again, you just pound the puck at the net, and eventually it's going to go in. And we had a good shot on goal and a good goal. And as you mentioned, it's picked the team up. And this is a big power play for us with this left goal, too. Capitalize on it, take the lead in the game.
Regardless of the outcome, Dauber, this has got to be a big positive boost for the hockey club.
Yeah, I think so. You know, after the way we played in the first 2 hockey games, this is a big plus. We're doing the little things right. We're winning the battles on the wall. We're able to get the puck out of the zone. And, you know, we're back in a hockey game at 2-2 and have a chance here to go ahead. So it's a big confidence boost for everyone involved.
You're the busiest man down there. You're the busiest man down there. I see you working the bench. You working the...
Hey, they don't pay me the big bucks for nothing.
He's not the best color man in the league for nothing. Thanks, Dauber. We'll be back with him later on. It's a 2-2 game. I'm wearing that one out. Between you and him working down there on the bench. It's 6:40 to go in the third period. And
I'm not sure what the big controversy is right now. Is someone's complaining about something down there. I think Hansen's saying, look, get your stick in there. We're going to drop the puck, and we're going to play a little bit of hockey. Enough of this chit-chat. But,
I don't know what it's about.
Well, they're about to drop the puck, and it seems, you know what I think it has to do with is the opposing team has to put their stick down first. Then the home team gets to put their stick in. So it's like, you know, they're playing patty cake there, and he's turned sideways. He wanted both of them to be square. So I think a little much ado about nothing, really.
Ooh, and then Conroy lets Dave Smith have a big left hand as the shot goes high and wide, and then Laniel and Smith go at it some more. Boy, this thing's starting to turn a little chippy here, but nothing harmless going on right now.
Hey, that's what hockey's all about.
Sure. Conroy through the neutral zone, spins one up, missed Slivchenko. And then Smith got clipped by Laniel. Play going on. Laniel lets the shot go. That hits skates, cuts behind the net. Conroy, base of the right circle. Hands it for Maurice. It's scooped away, but Slivchenko popped it free. Padim, base of the right circle. Don't forget the Aeros, oh, by the way, on a power play here. And now we've got Slivchenko going out with one. We've got Conroy and Smith in front, all locked up. Conroy giving up about 4 inches, but he's got him in stature and height. Trying to lock him up. Conroy rustling with it. him down, and the referee gives him a 2-point takedown. But away from that scrap, we've got everybody matching up. Rick Knickel parking in there, and all of a sudden, everybody drops the mitts. Slivchenko trying to pull his man up. I don't know if he wants to go with Andruzak. Andruzak goes in there after Laniel. They finally get Conroy and Smith broken up. Look at Slivchenko trying to hang tough in there.
And he's doing a good job, too. I mean, he's not standing back. He's grabbed Andruzak, and everybody's in there. Now, there's a few chippy plays there. You saw Smith kind of potentially high stick there by Laniel, and now Laniel is in there. But Smith and Conroy go at it after slashing the daylights out of each other in front of the net.
Look at Slivy in there.
Slivy's in there. He's in there like a trooper. There's no I in team, and he's certainly proven that as he gets in there.
Now he's talking to Knickel.
Yeah, I hope Knickel doesn't get involved, because then that puts pressure on Gamble to come skating down the ice.
And you know he'll come.
Oh,
he'll be there in a heartbeat.
I tell you what, I did that last year in the playoffs, and you skate all the way down the ice, and at the time the ref was Denny LaRue, and he kicked everybody off the ice. So, but
he needs some equipment.
Well, hey, I hear there's a going out of business sale down in the offensive zone.
It's a fire sale.
It's whatever you can grab is yours.
Oh boy.
Well, it looks like there was an explosion down there. All there is helmets and gloves and sticks. But
I'm glad the fire sale isn't in our defensive end, because there's some guys from my men's league team that never show up if we're in our defensive end.
Oh. I tell you what, though, that just exploded, and it started off with Conroy, and it ended up with everybody getting involved, which is good. It shows the team's excited about this one and ready to go.
Well, let's take you back. For those of you watching on UPN 20, I know you're sitting there going, how did this start? Well, how about the replay showing Conroy and Smith, and watch the right hand of Al Conroy, or is it the left? I don't know.
They're both working each other.
The left.
Oh, he just missed it with it. Oh, and he's swinging. and then
if they got it afterward, Laniel gets into it, but I think it comes after the replay right there as he heads out. But Laniel got into it.
And here's the bout. They really got latched onto each other, so there's no real punches. But he's giving a little bit of a face wash and tries to rip his helmet right off his head. Tried to take his whole head off, I think. But Conroy is a tough customer. Smith himself is a feisty player. I mean, he's always in there stirring things up somewhere. So. You got two guys that like to mix it up, and that was a good little wrestling match. But hopefully the Aeros don't come out on the bottom on this one, because you're looking 6 minutes left in a game. It's a 2-2 game. It's been a very tight game. A lot of good saves, a lot of good shots, a lot of good plays, a lot of hitting. I mean, it's an ideal hockey game, but you don't want to have something like this mar the game. Especially for the Aeros, who should and I think deserve to win this game, especially with the effort they put forth tonight.
Oh, by the way, there's 6:02 left. It's a 2-2 game. Did we mention that? We've got 1:22 left in the Shagarovsky minor. A whole slew of penalties coming up right now to both Detroit and Houston. What they will be, I do not know. I don't know if one will get a power play. It all stemmed with Conroy and Smith. And then Knickel started barking a little bit with Slivchenko, and nothing really came out of that.
And I was listening to the game, obviously in the game in Cleveland. You suggested something that was really interesting, a pocket computerized device that can score up all these penalties and get this game underway, because there's a lot of standing around time, But I guess they have to sort it out somehow. Hey, you better get a patent on that.
I know, I probably should. Let's update you on some scores around the IHL. In the middle of the third period, your former team, the Atlanta Knights, tied with the Cincinnati Cyclones at 2. Second period, the Wolves leading Kansas City 4-1. Final, Michigan K-Wings 5, Lumberjacks 4. In the first period, Indianapolis leading Fort Wayne 2-1. No score between Peoria and Vegas. In the third, Milwaukee 3, Minnesota no score. No score yet between LA and Phoenix. San Francisco 2, Utah 1 in the second period. And a 5-minute major to Smith. Let's see if we can pick up the call.
2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
I didn't see what Smith got. He got 5, a 5-minute major.
2 minutes for.
Well, we're trying to pick up. I'm trying to hear what the call is that got Smith kicked out of the game. But
well, it might have been an eye gouge or something like that, because you saw when they're down on the bottom of the pile that Smith's kind of had his hand in there gouging away at Conroy, but I'm not sure what the call is. Maybe the ref saw his final slash, because it was a doozy. They were slashing each other pretty good before they went for a fight, and again, Dudley's not going to be happy with this call because he loses Smith. Plus, it'll give the Houston Aeros, if there's no more calls, a 5-minute power play.
Let's go down to Rob Dobson. Dobber, what's going on down there?
Well, it seems all hell broke out down here, Adam. You know, it's just the thing. I think they got a match penalty for either the high stick that he swung a stick at Al's face, but on, you know, the good end of it is we get a 5-minute power play, which is a big boost for us at this time. You know, and it's like you said, when we got that goal, it really boosted the confidence, and I think you see the frustration coming out on Detroit's part.
Now, I'm trying to figure out what Smith was complaining about before that face-off. That seemed to get him really frustrated when him and Conroy went at it.
Yeah, like I said here, I'm doing so many jobs down here working the door. I'm looking at the big screen trying to figure all these things out, and unfortunately I didn't see the whole thing begin. But you know, we've got 6 minutes left in the game with a 5-minute power play, so things have worked out pretty good. I think we've been tenacious in their own end and really worked down low, and I think you see a lot of frustration coming out over on the other side of the bench.
Dobber, real quickly, I wanted to ask you, we've talked about Rick Knickel and how well he's played. How about your partner, Troy Gamble?
You know, I talked to Troy after the first period, and there's a couple indecisions on his part. You know, the first goal, he was going to go in the corner and get the puck. The second goal there, he backed in or tried to play the shooter knowing he wasn't going to shoot. But, you know, one thing about Troy, I'll give him credit for, even last year, he was able to get back and get confident quick. And although they gave up a bad goal, he was able to battle back, and he's battled back tremendous here tonight. And he's really come up big for us when we needed him. A couple breakaways, shots from the side, and he's looked a lot more confident in there since the end of the first period.
Is tonight this first sign of the real defense that we've been expecting to see this year?
I would have to see, and you know, everybody looks to our defense and the improvements that we've made on our defense, and we've given up a lot of shots here. It took a while for them to get used to each other, as well as the forwards, and I think tonight it's just an overall solid team defensive game. There's not a lot of pressure being put on our D. Our wingers are giving a lot of outlet passes and being open for the pass, and really 6 people are working in as a good unit out there on the ice, and you can tell by the score, you know, it's not 8-2 or 7-3 like it had been, and we're really in the hockey game, and it's a real credit to everyone.
Thanks, Dobber.
Thank you.
2-2 our score. Rob Dobson doing it all down on the bench, opening the gate, closing the gate, handing out sticks, water bottles, and an odd color commentary on that.
And handing out some advice as well.
There you go. I wonder if Dobber can help me with some stocks. Laniel.
Don't you see his PC down there?
That's right. Laniel rolled one over to Arneal. Aeros have a 4-on-3 power play for a minute 11. Rolled it over. Arneal, one-time shot, stop. Rebound in front, but Bissett couldn't get there. He was late arriving to the puck, and Loach was able to turn it around. It's Michael Stewart. He'll chip it all the way down the ice.
And that's one thing that Houston's going to have to be very quick on, or keep going on the shots. Keep shooting, because something will happen.
Aeros have 3 forwards, 1 defenseman, and here's the only defenseman, Laniel. Sliced one down for Arneal in the corner. Chipped it behind the net. First one there is Bissett. Trying to get it to Freer. Mark Freer in the corner. Freer to Bissett. Pulls back, peels toward the line. Bissett to Laniel. They've got half a minute on the power play. First part of this. And they've got a 5-minute major they'll work on in a little bit. Bissett to the line. Laniel, one-time shot. Kicked out of there. Can it go? And Loach is able to blast it. Almost looked like the Aeros weren't sure who was going to play that puck.
Well, I think Freer got mauled in front there, giving the Detroit a chance to dump it all the way down. But good pressure by the Aeros so far. Some good shots.
Here come the Aeros, 4-on-3. Arneal weaving through the neutral zone across the line. Arneal will pull up and set up at the left point. Arneal leaves it for Mark Laniel. McCrory working in front. Laniel, one-time shot in front by Arneal, blocked. Arneal chased it down at the hash marks. Power play is down to a second. Laniel worked it out. Now it's 4-on-4 for half a minute. Then the Aeros will have what's remaining of a 5-minute major. Laniel gets one back to Arneal. Feathered one in the corner. It's picked up by Kriva-Hishaw. Kriva-Hishaw in the near side, watched by Maurice, and he will turn one out at center for Shargorodsky. In 20 seconds, Aeros will work on a power play again. Here's a shot right on. I think that caught Gamble a little surprised as David Emma let that fly.
And he used the defenseman as a screen.
Puck picked up by Maurice across the line with Jakes and Pack. Maurice barreling down the right side, leaves for Jakes, trying to pump one in there. Maurice behind the Detroit net. In there, battling for it was McCrory. Now, the Aeros have 3 minutes of a 5-minute major to work on for Dave Smith. And again, it's a score-at-will power play. They can get as many goals in this 3-minute span. But the Vipers have the puck, and they'll shoot it down the ice. Gamble will slow, and Jakes will work. So 2:44 left in the major. Jakes, right to left, through the neutral zone, pass right side. Bissett across the line with Slivchenko. Bissett, shake, bake, lost the puck. Aeros trying to come up with it. Jakes hustling. Stewart chipped it away. Pavanka will blast it, and a breakaway for Bondra. Bondra's in alone. Bondra shorthanded, scores! Peter Bondra, and it's a 3-2 Viper lead.
Well, a very unfortunate play there. The puck got chipped out at the blue line. And you don't want to give a guy like Bondra, he's already got one tonight. You don't want to give him a chance like that on a breakaway with 3 minutes left because you know he's going to put it away. Gamble fooled a little bit on that one, thinking he was going glove. Bondra just found the low corner. I think it's chipped out at the blue line. Not Pavanka, not surprise, and it's not able to keep it in. Bondra, he just fires it low side here. What a shot. You know what? Look at Gamble. He jumps out thinking that, hey, I think it hit the post, but he might have heard it ricochet off the post, but it did hit the back of the net. And Bondra from Pavanka again. And this is going to now they have to use that 2 minutes left in the power play to really do something to at least get this game back to a tie the way it was before.
Bondra with 2 goals tonight. Pavanka with 3 assists.
Those guys are going to tear up the league if they stay here too long.
Do me a favor, Washington Capitals. Get these guys signed.
I'll give you some of the money I'm making.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to help, but
I'll take a cut in salary to make sure these guys get in, right? Here come the Aeros. Freer across the line, cutting in, trying to get a shot away. Oh, hit Knickle, split underneath him, and then he'll dive on top of it. So at least the Aeros will get a face-off deep in Detroit territory with 3 minutes to go.
Well, Freer driving to the net very well on that play, and Knickle, got to give him credit, he stayed with it even though he didn't know where the puck was. The puck was bouncing around skates down there, and he stayed with the puck all night. And I say this from a biased standpoint, but you know, he's had a very good game, but you know that Aeros have really taken it to the Vipers, and it'd be unfortunate if they didn't get 2 points, or at least get like maybe even 1 point out of this. They need to have 2 minutes here out of the last 3 minutes left in the game here. They need one to tie this up and at least send it into a shootout.
Face off, right side of Knickle. Freer, McCrory, Arneal, Donnelly, and Laniel. Aeros win the draw. Back to Donnelly. 3 minutes to go in the game. 1:55 in the 5-minute major. McCrory, hash marks, left side down Freer. Base of the left circle. Cutting behind the net. Reversed it to McCrory. Scott McCrory to Gord Donnelly. Lets a shot go. That was stopped with a right pad by Rick Knickle. Aeros hold it in. McCrory centered one. Oh, and it skipped over the stick of Laniel, and then he slipped and fell. Crowd wanting a penalty, won't get it. Puck cleared to center. Donnelly roughs his man up pretty good along the boards, and it came to neutral ice. Mark Freer circling back in his own zone. Hands one over to Arneal. And the Aeros with 1:20 on the power play. Freer across the line. Freer trying to sidestep the Viper check. It's cleared, not out. Held in. Laniel shoots. Hit the post. Break that off the near post. And the puck came behind for Freer. Freer centered, and the Vipers are there to shoot it down. 1 minute to go in the 5-minute major. 2:05 to play in this hockey game. 3-2 Detroit.
A glorious opportunity there. Laniel just wrung that one off the post. Knickle looked like he was beat on the play.
Here comes Maurice across the line for Houston. Maurice sends one down the right side. Bissett looking for Slivchenko, intercepted Andrujak and cleared, not out. Second effort is out as it was shot down by Peter Bondra. 2 goals tonight. Jakes at center for Houston. A pass to the right side, brought in by Tom Bissett. Give it to Maurice. Maurice sends it back. Jim Pack wide, shoots, kick, save, rebound came out in front, but the Vipers have it. Aeros haven't really been able to jump on the rebounds, which is a credit to Knickle, redirecting the rebounds where they have to go. Maurice cutting behind the net. He centered it, but nobody there for Houston. Now it's worked away. Aeros trying to clear, or hold it in rather, but the Vipers cleared it out at center. Pack muscled near side. Jumped on by Maurice, and he'll hand it over to Tom Bissett. Across the line, Slivchenko, and knocked free by the Vipers. Penalty down to 3 seconds, so the Vipers have killed off this penalty as the puck goes down. And we're down to the final minute. We'll keep an eye on Troy Gamble. Aeros clear one out at center. It hit a stick and rejected, and it's right back into the Aeros zone. Aeros need a goal. They're down 3-2. 50 seconds left. Gamble still in the nets. Jakes. He'll move it out. Keep an eye on Gamble. He'll drift up. He'll come out. The Aeros have an extra attacker. Freer cutting in. He was chopped down. Play going on. Puck held in, though. Arneal waiting. trying to center it. He was draped by Stewart. Puck came to the line. That is empty. They've got Pavanka. They've got Junker out there. No Bondra yet. Puck came deep for Yo. He muscles in there with Stewart. It goes far side Yo. 23 seconds left. Aeros down a goal. Puck behind the net. Stuffed in there. Yo. Wrap shot. Fan on it. And Darryl Williams will clear it out at center. Jakes chased it down to his own blue line with 12 seconds left. The Aeros have to hustle if they want to get it. That's a two-line pass. I thought, but they say no. Oh, no, there's the whistle, and play halted with 8 seconds left. And that'll just about do it with 8 seconds and a face-off in the Aeros zone. That should mean the return of Troy Gamble.
Well, if you're a big believer, you'll think, hey, the 8 seconds is there's always a possibility you could score a goal, but it doesn't look very promising, and it's actually quite heartbreaking, actually, because you see the kind of effort that everyone put in. Knickel stood on his head, and he's the real story tonight. No matter what, Gamble played unbelievable himself, and it's quite unfortunate. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to tie this one up with 8 seconds left. Puck all the way down, just inside the Aero blue line.
Face-off will be between Freer and David Emma. Mark Freer, not much of a factor in the goal department, but still a pretty solid performance by him.
And he was chopped down. He was breaking down it. And the referee was all the way on the other side of the ice. Probably couldn't see that, but you never know what could have happened on that one.
Face-off controlled by the Vipers. 5 seconds left. And that is the hockey game as it goes into the Aeros zone. Gamble plays it. And I guess although the Aeros now go to 0-3 on the year, a very encouraging sign for the Houston Aeros in their play tonight. Good defensive play. They got some timely offense, I guess, with goals from Mark Laniel and Mark Cipriano, but couldn't quite get the job done as the Aeros made a costly mistake on the power play, and a shorthanded goal by Peter Bondra will end up being the killer.
Well, I tell you what, it is a heartbreaker because, I mean, the pressure that the Aeros put on the Vipers all night long certainly should have resulted in 2 points. Like we said, the big story was Rick Konecko, who's really stood on his head. He played very well tonight.
All right, final 3-2. The Vipers win it, and we'll wrap things up when we return. UPN 20 Saturday Night on Ice has been sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Healthcare Partners, by Chrysler Plymouth, by Dodge, by Jeep Eagle, and by Whataburger. It's a final here in the Summit. The Aeros fall to the Detroit Vipers by a score of 3-2. Aeros are now 0-3. Vipers are 4-0. And it's time for the Southwest Airlines just plain smart play of the game. And it was not just a plain smart by the Aero defense. They got caught up ice, and Peter Bondra is the man that gets it short-handed.
Well, I mean, Bondra's an opportunist. He already had a goal that night, and guess who his assist was? Pavanka. And he just rings this one off the post, it looked like. That's the play of the game.
Smart play by Michael Pavanka and a smart play by Peter Bondra. 2 goals for Bondra, 3 assists for Michael Pavanka, but still, after the Aeros really were not in any of the previous 2 contests, this has got to be a most encouraging sign for Terry Ruskowski, Dave Tippett, and anybody with the Aeros.
Well, I tell you what, it's both encouraging and it's a little distressing because those other games they weren't really in. This game they were in, and they actually looked like they were going to win, especially in the second period there. And it's encouraging because they did so well, but it's also heartbreaking because they could have won, and it was very close.
All right, 3-2 the final. We'll wrap things up when we return.
When a person is driven, when something is so desperately important, he becomes predictable. Did you really think we didn't know you'd come looking for all the answers? But you can't walk away. You never could. And that's your basic problem. Predictable.
You sure about that?
It's the moment of truth.
Nowhere Man. Monday night at 8 on UPN 20.
If we get hungry, if I get hungry, I go straight to Whataburger.
Introducing Jumbo Mania.
Giant hamburger. Juicy and hot.
Start with a double meat Whataburger.
Yum, yum.
Add large fries and a large drink, and you have Jumbo Mania.
trying to watch my weight, so I'm only eating maybe 2 or 3.
You're a little bitty man. Whatever it takes, I'm gonna find a Whataburger I'm not gonna eat.
Jumbo Mania, only at Whataburger.
Get off your sofa! Go to Whataburger and eat!
What you waiting for?
Welcome back. Summit, Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay. 3-2 the final. And again, you know, Troy Gamble plays a pretty stellar game. I don't know if he's going to get the call against the LA Ice Dogs when the Aeros resume play, but regardless, I think goaltending is nice to say. It's not the problem.
Well, you never want your goaltending to be the problem, and it certainly hasn't shown reared its ugly head here, because both goaltenders have been sharp. And yeah, you might see Troy Gamble again, but it's also encouraging to think that you could also see Rob Dobson.
Thank you very much. Did you enjoy your debut?
Yeah, I did, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it.
Good.
It was fun. Let's keep it going.
Thanks. All right, the final 3-2. The Detroit Vipers win. The executive producer of Houston Aeros Hockey is Paul Mykowski. Tonight's game has been produced by Aaron Silberman. Remote production facilities provided by John Crow Productions.